ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. You that is old in churchyard mould, he breedeth a mighty bow. Older for shoes do wise men choose, and beech for cups also. But when you have killed in your bowl, it is filled, and your shoes are clean outworn. Vacuum a speed for all that you need to oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. She hates mankind and waits till every gust be laid, to drop a limb on the head of him that anyway trusts her shade. But whether a lad be sober or sad, or mellow with ale from the horn, he'll take no wrong when he lieth along neath oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. But tell the priest our plight, for he would call it a sin. But we've been out in the woods all night, conjuring summer in. We bring you good news by word of mouth, good news for cattle and corn. Sure as the sun come up from the south, by oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn.
Another day, another successful catch. 2-star. Piece of shit. God damn it. Fucking Jigglypuff, you trash Pokemon. Hello. Welcome. It is Friday. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you, my friends. It is indeed a brand new phase. A new era. A legacy of only fantastic ideas and beautiful requests. So, my friends, once again, I welcome thee to the best day of the week, for it is the Friday sketch stream. Good to see you all. What's up? Good. What's going on? How's it going? What's up? What's up, Hanabi? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Seriously, welcome in, raiders. Good to have y'all. If you're not following Hanabi Kitty, I do recommend. Listen, personal endorsements here. All right. This is important to me. So Jesus. Why my alert's so loud?
Of the
Hold on,
the time has come.
I gotta turn that down, turn this up. Okay, all right, we're good.
Art is here.
Yes, I am.
Way late with this.
I am. Wait, what do you mean? It's not. I'm not late. I'm not, dude. I'm not late. I'm here right on time. I got here. Dude, I was up early this morning. I'm ready today. I was up early this morning. I've done a lot today. I did not go to the gym. I said fuck that. I had to take care of Yuna. She is currently asleep and not having any of it. So that's her. That's her life right now.
I have a
That's
Friday
what's going
off.
on. Elysium, what up? Good to see you. Thanks for the 31 months. How's it going? What's up? Jesus, dude. That's a long time. I appreciate it. Elysium, today is a Friday for world builders. So might be a good Friday for you. I don't know. But I'm honored you choose to spend some of your little Friday with me, because I am super pumped. It's a good one. I came off a good game last night. I played some D&D. I realized something, though. I realized I need to nerf the Astral Knight, because Ella keeps one-shotting things and not dying, and no, they had a little impromptu combat last night. Kind of one-sided. The dude was in a coffin. It was a whole thing. But regardless, the Astral Knight's still OP, so I need to change that. I might do a little Redding stream tonight. I don't know. But nerf the hero, buff the monsters. In this case, now I am usually Cal, one to say buff the monsters. But this time, definitely nerf the hero. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a couple things down a little bit, like AC 17 at first level, realistically, which is actually kind of a pain in the ass when you think about it. So I think we're gonna take it down to probably AC 15, 16 at first level, and then go from there. So, but yeah, I had a great game last night. Players showed up. It was all good. Everyone had a good time. What else did we do? They went on an airship. You know what? Okay, is this a me player thing, a me's players things, or is it a use players things too, or just a players things? My players spend a lot of gold on things that you don't really, that you wouldn't think you'd need to game all that hard, right? Like my players don't save all their money for magic items and potions and whatever. They'll spend gold on dumb things. And I mean, they'll spend gold on, like, I'm like, okay, guys, you get into this town. There are 3 options for inns that you pass. 1, a squalid inn, super inexpensive, silver per day, but it kind of smells bad and whatever, this, that, you know. There's the standard inn, and it's run by a really nice family of dwarves, and there's sort of the warm waft of freshly baked bread and, you know, and stew coming from the front door as you walk by. And then there's the luxurious inn. It is a Nyathar-run estate that has been converted into a fancy, full amenities, luxury, aristocratic inn. It is, in fact, 4 gold per night, and you guys are going to be here for 10 nights. What do you want to do? They're always like, oh, the expensive one. Yeah, we want the expensive one. Yep. I asked them yesterday, I said, okay, guys, you have about an hour or 2 in the market before you have to board the airship. Is there anything you want to buy before you go off to Fort Wildwood, last minute supplies, small things like that. What are you feeling? I've been expecting them to be like, oh, I need some ammunition, or maybe potions will be more expensive in Fort Wildwood and less expensive in the big city, or maybe this or that or whatever. And so I'm thinking that through of like, okay, they might want to buy a couple of things, whatever. And one of my players is like, I'm gonna go buy some whiskey and tobacco. I'm like, okay, sure, man. You get to this sort of the shop, and they have all sort of the fine things. Do you want to buy the 1 gold whiskey, the 5 gold whiskey, or the 10 gold whiskey bottles? He's like, ooh, I'm gonna buy the 5 gold whiskey bottles, 2 of them, and some pipes and good tobacco. I was like, all right. And then when we're in there, Ella is like, hey, I want to buy some rum. I'm like, sure. Since rum is very common in this area of the world, pick your gold from 1 to 100 and you can buy a bottle that expensive. And she's like, oh, well, I'm going to buy the $20 bottle, which I said is a fine Coralastrian rum from the Relic Coast. Thinking to myself, why'd you just spend 20 gold on rum? Like, that's like a $500 bottle of rum. We figured out how much like a gold per day or whatever per USD conversion, whatever it is. 20 gold's like $500, bro, in like modern day. So my players are spending all sorts of money on frivolous things they don't need. They spend more money on the fancy airship. I don't know, man. Maybe it's me problem. Maybe it's a my problem thing or my player's problem thing. I'm not sure. I've been using wealth levels for cinematic storytelling, and spend under 5 gold per day is free. Ooh, wait, that's a great idea. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of dig that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they want to enjoy it. And also, you know, like it's a fantasy world where you get to get away from things. And it was so adorable last night. It wasn't the intention, but one of my players said like, okay, we have like an hour or two before we're going to go sneak into the cargo hold. I'm going to take a nap. And one of our other players was like, a nap? Are you guys taking naps? I want a nap. And I was like, oh man, she's so overworked. And like, you know, she's so overworked and like stressed out at work IRL that the most fantastic thing I could have said in my D&D game was offer them the party a chance to just take a fucking nap. It was sad, man, but it was adorable. It was I felt bad, you know. I'm glad I can give my players a bit of a release. A game where they can, you know, fight big monsters, be heroic magical heroes, go on epic fantasy adventures, but most importantly, be able to afford good whiskey and have a nap. So, you know, in my fantasy game, all you need to do to give your players immersion is to tell them they don't have student loans and don't have to pay taxes. And they're like, wow, what a great fantasy universe it is, you know? Ask them not choosing the 100 gold rum, to be honest. Well, here's the thing. They were shopping with they were eating with their eyes, so to speak, Sam, because the players were promised at the end of this quest 800 gold. 800 gold at the end of this quest. Now, I don't normally give my players a ton of gold. And so Ella's the only player that's suspicious. She's like, we're 3rd level. You don't give us 800 gold at 3rd level. There's a catch. Something's going to happen. I don't trust this, but I'm still going to plan to get the gold and hope for the best and buy a 20 gold bottle of rum on the way there. I did have her apprentice Embra buy a giant bag of candy. So I have made Ella's apprentice Embra the worst Astari initiate I possibly could. She's like underage drinking, buying candy all the time, kind of disillusioned, poorly behaved most of the time. And I'm trying to give Ella a real challenge here as to turning her apprentice into a you know, fully fledged Astromite. But my No Limits Power Fantasy, I can nap sometimes. Exactly. Isn't that kind of, doesn't that say something about our current world, Ed? Where in your No Limits Power Fantasy game, all you really want to do is take a nap, right? Sounds like you need to tax your players more. They have apparently too much money. True. Yeah, I should do that. I should just say, all right, you guys get 800 gold, but ooh, the tax bracket above 200 gold is 60%. So sorry, guys, you have to give more than half your gold to the local government. And then on top of that, you had to pay rent and storage for your rooms at the guild hall while you were gone. You know, like I feel like there's room for that in there or whatever. It's more to lubricate play. It's not for all settings, but it cuts out the 5 minutes of who pays for the 1 gold in room, how many people can share per room. And drinks are another 4 silver. Please divide evenly or have one player cover the entire cost. Right. So I like that gameplay early on, Ashy. I think that when money is a resource, it's one of those things that it's fun to overcome. It's a system that I think is not like encumbrance, money, currency, carrying capacity, ammunition, all these things I think are fun systems to overcome. But at a certain point in time, you do overcome it. And I just kind of do the same thing where I would say like, oh, drinks or whatever, or this or that, or something like that. But now I just sort of upfront what the costs of things are going to be, and I just kind of average it out, and I'm like, oh yeah, so you guys are staying here for a couple of nights, well, it's gonna be like 20 gold for the week, and one player will be like, I'll cover it or whatever, and it's no big deal at that point in time. So I guess I kind of do a similar thing, but I like when my players they feel like they've gotten enough gold to overcome it. It's like, you know, when you're playing like Vampire Survivors or like Hollow Cure or any of those like Vampire Survivors type games, where at a certain point you get an ability or mechanics or whatever it is where you don't have to play the game anymore. You can just sit there and you just sit there watching yourself like win. That's only good because you suffered through having to like move around and dodge shit and whatever. So I kind of agree with that, actually. I think that's a really good take as to making things free or whatever. But DD offers the best fantasy, such as great gainful employment, having a full night's rest, and achieving great things. Yeah, if you put a lot of effort into it, it'll matter, and people will think you're cool for it. So, always something magic items, a bigger purchase, still get haggled down and discussed. Yeah, I feel that. The nicer the gift to my players, the more suspicious they are of what is to come. Give them a scroll of wish, instant sweats, and distrust everything I say in the campaign. That's true. Yeah, I think one of my, like, Ella and maybe Dashto a little bit are always very suspicious of gifts from the GM to the players, you know. But I'm also I think I've been pretty nice in this campaign. I've built them a solid, probably sense of safety that might need to be washed away soon. So we'll see. It's actually kind of interesting because the game that I'm playing with Fishy and the game that I'm playing with my party, very similar stories right now. They're doing very similar things, investigating runes, dealing with the consortium. So it's kind of fun actually to take a similar story from 2 different angles and try and figure out what what there is to do with those stories in 2 different parties or groups or whatever. But I don't know. I got to do some art for my my Thursday game. I have to paint or draw or sketch Embra. And I have to paint, draw, or sketch Remington, which is Dashto's character. So I need to do those 2 and see what's up. I might do them on the weekend. I don't know. I have a lot of stuff to do, man. Have both parties that have a crossover? That'd be interesting. That'd be really fun to. I don't know. They play very differently. I don't know honestly if they would. Like, I think Ella could probably cross over to both games and both styles. But Fishy plays a very different style of game than like my Thursday party. I don't know if they would cross over well. The games like the DM style that I have when I'm playing with Fishy is not sort of entirely my normal DM style. I'm kind of like adjusting a little bit for a couple things. You know, Fishy is one of them. Fishy's the biggest part of it. That's why I've adjusted my DM style a little bit for her. Usually it's more mechanical and more crunchy, but she doesn't like that. She doesn't love D&D for the mechanics. She likes D&D for the storytelling. And so I try and make the mechanics make it more interesting. Whereas if I were to play a one-on-one game with a player that's a little more crunchy, like Dashto or Ashy or I think Atari's pretty crunchy, then I think they would enjoy more of the mechanical sort of things, and then you'd see me do a much more crunchy style D&D than I usually do. So it's interesting. It's very interesting to like change my style up so much because I'm playing with such a concentrated group, which is one person that wants a certain type of game. So I don't know. And picture the response. Well, time to overthrow the government. Yeah, exactly. That's they get taxed, get wrecked. All right, so today we're going to be doing a very special edition of Friday Requests. We are going to be doing locations. I haven't done locations in a long time. It's been a while. Locations were kind of one of the very first, if not the very first things that I did for people. And I am very happy and eager and looking forward to doing that today because it's been a while and I am excited. So also I've gotten a lot better at drawing quick locations. So here's how it's going to be. There's going to be a bit of I'm going to try and reiterate this each time because there's not really a command for it, whatnot. But here is the general rules. So if you care to get a location done today, which I don't know, maybe like 3 people will enter, and that's fine. If like 3 people enter and I can do all 3 sketches for them, great. If like 20 people enter and I can do 3 of them, then great too. So I have no idea what to expect. But for anyone who wants a location done, if you have something from your current game that you want to see, or a backstory from your character, or a place in a world, or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to prove you have a game for it, that you're GM or whatever. But here's how it's going to work. So for locations, I'm going to say limit the scope, right? If you, the wider the breadth of what you ask for, the more general it's going to be. So the best kind of request, I'll give you a good request, or the best kind of request, a just fine request, and a probably not very good request that I might try and narrow down for you. The best kind of request is like, hey man, I've got this like rune, or I've got this obelisk of power, I've got this gate, or this monument, or this like singular thing that you could go see in the world. It's like a singular place, like a tree or something, like a object in the world, in a location there that we can draw them. That's gonna be the best ones. The like just fine requests are, oh, I've got this mountain range of really aggressive mountains. Okay, cool. I've got like an ocean with cliffs or whatever. That's okay. You know, it's obviously it might be a little more general, but that's just fine. Bad requests are going to be things like cityscapes. You know, I've got a city made up of town, you know, a township sort of layered on top of another township, folded in a pancake with trees growing out of it and little houses in the trees. I'm never going to be able to get to all of that in one little request. So I would say that if you have something like that is very vast and open and whatever, in town and detailed, probably I'm going to say pick a part of the town that's more interesting, like the town fountain or the main castle or something along those lines. So that is how we're going to format it today. And I think we just get into it. I think we complete that. If you have a sketch that you would like today, you can do so with exclamation sketch. There it is. Atari was ready. Holy shit. He's like a gamer. What the fuck? He didn't. Wait. My shit. My glove got caught on my zipper on my ankle. I got ankle zippers on these Adidas. So I got caught. All right, we're good. I just ripped my glove slightly. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, Atari's a gamer. What the fuck? So, exclamation sketch. We are doing locations today. Small little places from the world. Or if Cobalt wins, let's face it, he's going to ask for something from Eldara. So there's that. That works too, I guess. Yeah, man. Nothing crazy there. Nothing to be seen. I player catch me like, oh, it'll cost a few gold for the night, and suddenly how much is a few slaps me in the face when I'm speaking narratively, not mechanically. Right. Yeah, that's interesting, actually. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Totally not trying to rig the system. I would never.
I can read the roll for you. Here. Rig roll. What did it say? The roll's been rigged for Streamlabs thinks it's funny. Or Streamlabs thinks it's fucking funny, man. It thinks it's funny, okay? Alright. Got so lucky with the new game. I'm co-DMing with my husband and I get to actually play. Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys do that. That's really cool. We have a player who loves to take very detailed notes that he shares with everyone and wants to record it as a podcast. That's cute. I like that, man. Another player wants to be the party treasurer and keep track of all the nitty gritty, and they all have very flavorful stories. I think I found the holy D&D grail. That's awesome. I'm actually, Elysium, I'm actually legitimately, vicariously, super honestly, and truthfully just happy for you. That sounds amazing. You're running your game with your husband, having a great fucking time doing it, and you have players that are super engaged and want to do stuff outside of the game to play the game even better. That's awesome. I'm really happy for you. That's awesome. What's up, Fuel?
Paleosum gifted a tier 1 sub to Rigroll.
That's not Sam.
They have given 37 gift
you
subs
can't
in the
gift
channel.
a sub to Rigroll. What if you win now? What if you win after gifting a sub to Rigroll? Every single month, people are gonna be waiting for like the 19th of the month for that poor user's sub to be up so they can gift it. That person after 6 months can be like, why do I have 6 months of sub to this freaking weird, like, who the fuck is Evan Blair Art and why do I have 6 months of subs to them? Right? God. Yeah, what if Rigroll wins? Super rigged. We're gonna prep for the new campaign stuff card tonight. Excellent, dude. Congratulations. The new campaign is exciting. I'm excited for you. Thank you, Crimson, for the gifted sub to Stream Elements. That's
Crimson Rockstar gifted a
Oh.
tier 1 sub to Stream Elements.
I gotta figure out how to
They
make.
have given
Oh, shit.
1,259 gift subs in the channel.
Jesus, thank you, Crimson. I appreciate that. I gotta make Blaze and the other mods fancier mods in Stream Elements. I was gonna do that last weekend, but then I didn't, and then this week came around, and then now it's Friday. So hold on. Figure out how to make shit in Stream Elements. Also, Blaze, if you're around right now, I am going to be in mod chat hanging out for a while after stream, doing a couple of stream related things for any of the mods that want to talk about stream shit or whatever. So yeah, I'll be after I end stream today, I'm gonna be in mod chat for a couple of hours while I'm doing a bunch of like stream related things. So if you're around and you want to figure it out then for how to fix the alerts, because I think you said you had an idea on what to do, I'd appreciate it then or whenever. You know, it's not. Yeah, I know your work, so it's all good. But I'll be like talking about it and shit, and maybe you can tell me why I'm dumb. Either way, now that you've written on a note, you'll definitely remember Nodders. When I write something down, I remember shit. I just don't often, like here, last Friday, I wrote down that I was going to do the Inktober thing for Sonya Kara. I didn't forget. I was just complacent. But all week I've remembered that this note was here and that I just didn't do it on the weekend. So I didn't forget. I was just dumb. You know? When I write something down in a note, I got notes on notes. I got notes. I got class notes. I got things. I got to-dos. I got what to do's. I got how to do's. I got how's your mom's word. Dude, I got a lot of stuff. So Inktober 2024, right? Inktober 2023 is what that was for. So yeah, either way. All right, 7 seconds. If you haven't entered, you're never gonna get in. The rolls have been rigged. The sketches are ready. You may no longer enter the raffle. Okay. The winner is the illustrious, the calm, the just generally ready to have a good fucking time, man. Like, let's just play some D&D and just bring your dice and just get on your bed with your boys and just roll some dice on you. Everybody crams onto the same bed and it's hot and it's summer, so y'all take your shirts off and let's just have a good time, right? Wait, is that a me thing? Okay, sorry, that might be a me thing. Okay, but this person's ready to have a good time regardless, and that is, of course, Nick. Congratulations, Nick. Nick, tell me of a place that you want me to draw. Tell me of a location in your world, from your stories, from your games, a particularly interesting locale that I can draw a scuffed little sketch for you, my friend, and I will do my best to draw something cool. Hold on, I want to do the same item frame style here real quick. So what is the same frame size? Okay, that and there. Nope, I did it wrong. Copy, paste. Oh, wait, that would help if I... That'd be, yeah, helpful if I could make a new folder. April, what day is it? It's the 19th. Dude, it's Yuna's birthday soon. I don't remember what day it is. It's either a couple of days before mine or a couple of days after mine. But it's Yuna's birthday soon, which, by the way, next Thursday is going to be my streamer birthday stream, in which there's a lot of dumb shit that we have planned, that we made a notepad for. We'll be doing some more planning later on this week. Currently, the highlights are Sexy Shadowheart fan art for Tumblr likes, Blackwood Dice giveaways, setup review, or Smash or Pass D&D rules. So I'll need to set up a channel for the setup review. People can post their setups and we can roast the shit out of them. I need to get some Blackwood Dice in my hands so I can do some giveaways on Thursday, but it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Is there anything if the rig is right? Is there anything if the rig is right? If the rig roll is right, then I will commit to, for that person, for that role only, doing a sketch for them. That's what I'll do. So happy birthday in advance for you. Yeah, I don't remember if her birthday is a couple days after or before mine. It's between the 20th and 30th. I don't remember where it is because the problem is my dad's wife, her birthday's around now. Then my sister-in-law's birthday is around now. My birthday's right in the middle, and Yuna's birthday's right there. And I don't remember what the dates are. All right, I know when mine is. I'm pretty sure my sister's after. My dad's wife is before. And then I have no idea. But Yuna is going to be turning 2 years old this next week coming up here. So she's going to be a whole 2 years old. I don't know if... I don't... Does she... Hold on. Yuna. Does she look like a fully grown adult dog now? Because they said that they're puppies until 2. Is this a full-grown dog? Yuna. Are you full-grown? No? Fuck this shit? Are you a puppy? Are you a little fat? You need to lose some weight? You need to lose a pound? You need to lose a pound, don't you? Yeah, because the vet said you're a fat fuck. Good girl. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll deposit you back in bed. My bad. Alright. Alright. Okay, where are we going? Could draw a riverboat called the Golden Goose that is sailing down the river. It's a 3-story tall ship. It's a floating casino. A riverboat. Okay, sure. Fuck it. Why not? Interesting. A riverboat. We'll probably do the design for it. A riverboat, you say? Flowing down a river. Okay, got it. Cool. Legit. I'm done. We're good. Is Yuna getting a driver's license or a drinking problem? I don't know, dude. She's something right now. She smells like shit, too, 'cause she went to daycare last night. Or yesterday. And so last night, I forgot to... Ella and I forgot to bath her. Because we were playing D&D, so we had to do that instead. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Okay. So yeah, so she smells like shit. We need to bath her tonight when Ella gets home. I don't personally bath her on my own because I don't like to scrub her and have my hands smell like her fucking shampoo for the rest of the day. So Ella takes one for the team and does that because I'm allergic to everything. So I don't like when my hands smell like stuff. I'm kind of weird like that. It's one of my weirdisms that I've accepted.
Cartographer Elysium gifted a tier 1 sub to Nick 6997.
Thank you.
They have given 19 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you, Elysium. I appreciate that. Thanks for the gift sub to Nick. What's up? Thank you. That's very kind of you. I am honored and humbled by the gift sub. Not only are you supporting me and my stream, you're also saying, "Hey man, fuck ads. Here you go. You don't have to watch ads," which is that's great. Blade Bully said Gwen was getting chonky when I took her last week. Yeah. So the problem is that they say she needs to lose. They say she needs to lose more weight than I think is possible. So she's 8.5 pounds right now, and they said they want her to be just under 7. And I was like, that's a lot of weight for her to lose. And the vet's like, "Oh yeah, just get her up more and whatever." We're like, okay. And then I talked to another vet, and the vet said, yeah, she needs to lose like maybe 0.5 pound. And I was like, well, what is it? Is it 1.5 pounds or is it 0.5 pound? And I have one vet saying this dog needs to absolutely lose 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. Like she needs to be somewhere between 7.5 to 8 pounds. And she's currently whatever. It's like, or just under 7 pounds, or I don't remember what it was. But basically, one vet's just like, she needs to lose a ton of weight, and if she doesn't, she's gonna die. You're like, okay, well, I don't want my dog to die, so I'll like, sure, man. And the other vet's just like, dude, if your dog loses more than 0.5 pound, that's probably not good. I'm like, this is like a large amount of body weight for this small creature. I have to know more concretely what the amount of weight she needs to lose is, or she might just disappear into dust. So
hypothetically L_ animal weapon meta. Beetlejuice for fictional animal that's a weapon, they are a bomb. Watch a clip of them attacking its wild, a carpet bomb everything. and the entire genus Conidea for the real animal. Their harpoon is really cool.
Yeah, I dig it. Fuck yeah. Thanks 100 bits, Zura. I appreciate that. She's already tiny. She can't afford to lose more weight. I know, dude. Thanks for 100 bits, Zura. I appreciate that. All right, we gotta do a little river. We're gonna have a little boat sailing down the river. I guess we're mostly focusing on the location of the river as opposed to the boat. It's just gonna be an accessory there, but we'll still draw the boat in there. Let's see if we can make it kind of cool and exciting. We'll have it like rolling past the kind of like, I don't know, rolling into frame, I guess, as it sails down yon river in ye old fantasy landscape. Which is the important quality here, is that it is a fantasy landscape. Otherwise, no one will enjoy it, man. Everybody likes fantasy shit. No one wants any sci-fi things. What's up, Eldrell? How's it going? Hey, Eldrell, thanks for 17 months, dude. I appreciate that. What's up? How are you, my friend? What's going on? Alright, dude. Thank you for that. How's it going, Drill? I'll send both in stream topics. Alright. Smack it. Let's get it. Send it. We're gonna do some little trees. We're gonna Bob Ross the shit out of this. We're gonna make it look like an authentic fantasy landscape in a wondrous world of fantasy storytelling that you can escape into, where you can obtain certain things in your fantasy world that you could never obtain in real life. Like magical powers. Like the martial prowess to wield a great sword enchanted by an ancient king. Like the ability to get the number of the cute barmaid. Like the ability to make a decent living and not be terrified that you can't afford food. Fantasy stuff, you know? So, yeah, friends, sure, yeah, friends. What do you want out of your game, Jimothy? Oh boy, well, I guess what I really want out of my fantasy experience is the idea that I can make and keep a group of friends. Wow. Wow. Alright, sit down, kid. I'm going to tell you a crazy story. One of adventure, one of drama and intrigue, action, inspiration. What else? I don't know. What else is there in a fantasy story? I suppose we'll see. We'll have to get into it and, you know, figure it out. What's up, Soja? Soja, I knew it's got slightly more handsome in here, and I didn't know why, but turns out it's because you're here. So, what's up? What's good? According to stream title, you're drawing an anime uwu VTuber e-girl furry art. Am I? My stream title said. Thank you. Sometimes when I change it before stream, it like changes it back, and I notice when it says going live with that, and I go and I change it back. It's like I need to change it after I go live sometimes. Something's up with Twitch. Friday, or taking drawing places from your D&D games. Okay, thank you. Also, a bunch of stuff was just like wrong or messed up or whatever this morning, and I don't really understand why. Like my mute button isn't working. Can you guys still hear me? Because Streamlabs can sure still hear me. So it means that my mute button, because it currently says my microphone is muted, doesn't work. So I don't know what to do. I'll just have to like mute it on Streamlabs, I guess.
I caught a Dedenne on Pokemon Go.
A Dedenne? Was it 4-star? Was it 4-star? Yeah, wait, was it what we got going on here? 800 bits of 0, I appreciate that. I didn't catch anything good yesterday. I just sort of chilled out and just got my daily catches in. I'm excited for Bellsprout Day because I'm going to get like 3 million Stardust. It's going to be dope. If you don't speak loser nerd, we're talking about Pokemon Go right now, so. which, by the way, I am going to play the shit out of this summer for the Summer's Fitness Challenge, which is going to be a lot shorter. Last summer, we did a 3-month thing. This summer, it's going to be a 1-month thing, I think. And I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try something a little bit unique here. I'm going to send the completion badge to every single person who wants to join. And then what I'm hoping happens is that if you were going to drop the challenge, but you committed to doing it, you'll see the completion badge that you'll like earn or whatever whenever you finish. And you'll want to keep going and push yourself the rest of the month or even the next one or whatever. Because I'm going to say, obviously, the challenge is intended to be completed within a month. And that's cool. But I'm just going to upfront send everyone who wants one the completion badge a couple weeks ahead of time. So we're going to plan for the event to be in like July. And I'm going to try and send all the badges out in late May. So it gets to everyone across the world who wants. I hope not too many people want it, but it's fine. I'll make it work. I'm not worried. Unless like 100 people join, that's gonna be a problem. But hey, whatever, you know. Maybe I'll put a limit on it, like 30 badges or something. I don't know. Stream elements, why? Yeah, for real, bro. How does the Patreon custom card thing work? The Patreon custom card thing, it gets mailed out with letter mail, so depending on where you are, it can take a while. And Ella mails them all out at the end of the month for me, and then hopefully everybody likes their little card, the little sketch card, numbered and whatevered. This is gonna be the sketch reward or from Patreon is different than what I'm talking about for the fitness challenge, though. This is a printed badge as opposed to like a sketched card. So yeah, this will be a printed completion badge for the Journey to the Ruin Festival. And I'm gonna make everybody make characters for it too. I'm gonna make everybody make a character for it. Everybody who wants to compete in the festival fitness challenge. Which is really just a walking challenge. I gotta figure out what a difficult but obtainable distance of walking for people in general should be. I'm thinking 100 kilometers across a month. I don't think that's too ambitious. I think that's probably okay. I think that's ambitious, obviously, because that's like 3 kilometers a day, basically. But I think most people can make it happen. Especially if it's like 1 month. And also, I kind of want to focus on... Obviously, you know, everyone who wants to join can join. But I want to make it challenging and rewarding for people who want to be challenging and rewarding. You know? It's one of those things like when I give art like feedback or whatnot. Sometimes that people ask me for like feedback for their artwork. And I give them feedback, but they're like, oh, that's like... You're expecting too much of me, or like you're asking me to work too hard or whatever. Like, I mean, people ask me like, how do I get better at this skill? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, when do you want to get better at it by? And they're like, oh, by like the end of the summer. I'm like, cool. So you probably need to spend like maybe an hour or two a day, every single day doing like this kind of study. And then you'll be really good at it by the end of summer. And people will be like, oh my God, an hour or two every day. Oh no, that cuts into my Honkai Star Rail and League of Legends playtime. I don't want to do that. And so I get this like sort of realization moment where I'm like, why am I worrying super hard about appeasing people who don't really want to do this? You know? And so for the walking challenge and the fitness stuff, I kind of think that it should be the same thing where, you know, regardless of how healthy or not you are, I think 100 kilometers in a month is actually very doable. And I say that from experience of what I could do when I was an extra 100 pounds heavier. It's just an issue of time, I think, for a lot of people. And you can cheaty pants it if you want. If you want to just turn your watch on and like count your steps for the day, and your watch like tells you did like a kilometer's worth of steps for free, and you want to count that, like whatever, man, go for it. I'm not gonna hunt you down and ensure that you did 3 kilometers per day of like determined walking. Like that's the intention. But if you don't want to do that, like sure, man, whatever. Like
You pick your own battle and your own difficulty curve here. Don't let me influence that, right? So I think I'm going to err on the side of making it a little more ambitious than not. And a single month challenge, 100 kilometers, and we'll see what people do. See what people want to do. A marathon a day, dude. You know what? Maybe there'll be a race, like a badge, to see who earns the 100 kilometers fastest. It's like everyone starts July 1st, and we'll see who earns the. I don't want it to feel like, here's the thing. I don't want it to feel like a race in the sense of I don't want people to feel like they've lost, but I think it'd be fun to celebrate people that really want to go for it. You know, because if they finish the race, the challenge quickly, and they race to the finish, and they're cheering everyone on who's doing it at their own pace, I certainly won't be doing it at a crazy pace, because I'll probably like do big walks on the weekdays. Actually, I don't know. I'll probably do big walks on the weekdays and then big hikes on the weekends. Like I'll probably walk like 20 to 30 kilometers on the weekend, like 10K per day, a couple of weekends in July. And then I'll probably try and do like 5 to 6K every single day outside of it. Maybe we'll do miles though, so more Americans can compete. Because the problem is, as soon as you say a kilometer, Americans like get really upset by the idea of kilometers. And I understand, dude. I'm not going to shit talk Americans here. The kilometer is ridiculous. The mile is the superior measurement. You know, the kilogram. What the fuck is a kilogram, right? So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Also get a treadmill I can participate without actually collapsing. There you go. I usually do about 2.5 to 3 kilometers every single day at the gym. And then during the summer, I would go for about a half hour to an hour walk. So between 2 and 4 kilometers, 2 and 5 kilometers, because I have Una with me and she likes to sniff. So it's not like full on walking. So I probably do like 6 to 7 kilometers every single day casually in the summer. And then, yeah, those like hikes that we do in the mountains where Elle and I will go for like 15, 20 kilometers over a 4 to 5 hour hike or whatever. Those are dope. And we'll be doing those in July as well. So I think we'll be camping for a couple of those days as well. Kind of works out. Does anyone know the credibility of Coursera or Google Certs and thinking about starting to get some? Google Certs. You mean like certs is in like software certs and shit like that for like security, or what kind of certs are you looking for? Because I haven't heard much about Google specifically for that, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. You guys kill grams in Canada? Yeah, right. For real. Fuck a gram. Alright, we're gonna do our little boaty boat in the back here. A fantasy 3-story boat. We get a big sail, I think. I don't know. Kind of interesting looking sail. We'll give it 2 sails. Why? Because 2 sails is better than 1. Have it sailing off down this large river in the distance. Just being a fantastic example of a boat, bro. She's really data analysis, cybersecurity stuff. Yeah, okay, so like security and shit. No, the best place that I know a little bit about this, because I have a deep interest in this kind of field. The best thing that the best place you can get your certs is obviously through agencies and shit. I know that there are expensive, like, what's the word? Like consultants and shit like that can figure this shit out for your company. So if you want to do it on your company dime, you can like go and like ask, like a lot of companies will pay for, like, they have a certain budget or whatever if they're big enough for their IT or engineers, specialists or whatever to actually take these certifications. And people just don't use that resource for some reason. They just don't think it exists or whatever because they have a negative opinion of their company, so they just don't think that you can get any certs or whatever unless you work for a 3-letter agency or the Air Force or whatever. but I don't know on the personal level how to pursue it at all. I don't know about the credibility of Google or anything like that, but I would assume it's pretty good. If it's through Google, it's probably decent. Like, I would err on the side of it being decent, but I don't know. Walk an average of 1.3 passively per day. Plus I dance. Well, so the challenge is going to be of 100 kilometers of intentional walking. The idea is that you're journeying somewhere. So yeah, if your watch says you walk like my watch says I walk about 3 kilometers passively on just steps. And that's taking Yuna in and out for walks, but I have to go into the forest and do that. So it's like I'm out there for 10 minutes or whatever. I have to go in and out the forest and take her for a walk. I walk around the house. I walk around, do whatever stuff. And so I walk like 3 kilometers a day-ish passively, and I don't count that to the walking challenge. Because the intent is you set out on your journey and you go for your whatever. If you want to make it easier and do a little bit of a handicap, then yeah, sure, just include all your steps, whatever. I don't care. You know, it's all good, bro. So you can kind of pick your difficulty if you want to or not, but we're gonna do it a bit differently. Last year I think was a bit ambitious, and I thought it was fun, and a couple people thought it was fun, but most people kind of like, you know, died off in their enthusiasm after about a month and a half or so. But that first month was great, and people were posting like their walks, they were posting their journeys, they were posting the things they saw on their trips. It was fantastic, man. Cool things they caught on Pokemon Go on their walks. It was really special. I really loved that first month and a half or so. Like that, what's the timeline for it? The timeline is going to be, it's intended that you finish it within a month, but if you want to take longer and do it across the whole summer, it's all good. Like I said, I'm trying to make this accessible for people, but also I want people to challenge themselves. I want you to push yourself. If the idea of doing 100 kilometers of intentional walking per day is stressful and you know, you don't think you can do it or whatever, I say good. That is the stress required for you to grow, in my opinion. That's what I've used to lose so much weight and to, you know, get a lot more fit than I ever thought I could, to be honest. Even though I'm still like deep into that journey and still losing weight and whatnot. But yeah, it's incredible how much you can push yourself when it comes to just like walking, cardio, and things like that, if you have the will to do it. And so I kind of want to encourage people to do that if I can, because there's like a really cool core group of people in this guild that want to better themselves and improve and whatnot. And some people who are ready for it, and some people who aren't ready for it, and some people who don't give a shit. And that's all good. But I really want to make a cool place a little bit for people who are like, yeah, fuck this, I'm gonna start pushing myself to be able to do that. Like I don't think that there's this sort of like self-improvement kind of like bend to my streams or whatever, but like my theme on Twitch has always been me trying to get better, whether that's art or, you know, writing or life or whatever it is. Like I am just trying to improve constantly, and my Twitch chat or channel is just the cataloging of me doing that basically, and people hanging out with me while I'm doing it, hopefully. So Not Imperial again. A Roman league is 1.5 Roman miles, and that it gets insanely wild in how long a league is. Yeah, I have no idea what a fucking league is. Try to get my company to pay for certs, but they're not down. Really? We literally have 2 people in IT, and I have college cert in my computer programming, and another guy has bachelor's pharmacy or some shit. Bro, just go join. If you want to get into cybersecurity, I have a friend who's in CS, and he said that the best thing that you can do to get like a good sort of like really good cybersecurity, like if you want to be set up for like consultant level, like easy mode for the rest of your life, he said go join the Air Force as like a specialist officer, whatever. You know, go get your degree somewhere, get your engineering stuff, your IT, whatever it is you want to go do. Go join the Air Force. After 2 years, start using their program to start just collecting certs like Pokemon, and then retire from the Air Force and go join a 3-letter agency and continue to collect certs like a Pokemon. And he says that after about 6 years or 8 years of doing that, you'll have like $2.5 million worth of certs under your name, and basically you can go consult for anybody and tell them they have a problem without actually telling them how to fix it for $5 million. So it seems like easy mode to me, honestly. I don't know. Seems like a good deal. I wish there was something like that for art, where I could just like consult with people for art and I don't actually have to do anything. I just get important enough that I'm just like, ah, yes, you need to art better. And then they just give me a lot of money. Like, that's doable, right? right? The dream's not dead, right? It's still alive, right? Are you joining the Air Force? Oh, then go join a 3-letter agency easy. Go find a 3-letter agency. Go become like a data analyst or whatever. And fucking collect those certs like Pokemons. There you go, bro. Now, I don't know. There's probably a lot of paths for it, but I'm not sure how to do it from the like private side. Seems like a lot of these dudes that do it really well do it from the public side of things. So if I can do part of it on the treadmill because I need to get my cardio up before I go on walks outside and accidentally faint. Well, you can do the entire thing on the treadmill if you want, but it's just about intentionally moving as opposed to just like the stuff that you get. Like if you're gonna count you getting up and going to the kitchen to make a burrito and coming back to your computer as like, you know, a certain amount of distance, you can do that, but it's intended that it's like I'm going to now walk for, you know, 20 minutes and I'm gonna go do this and it's gonna be dope. And like nature is a big impact. Like some people are gonna have, you know, less easy time going outside and whatever, and that's okay. But a large intention of it is to go on an adventure. Go on an adventure, go out into the wilderness, go find a path. Like, you know, if you don't go and you're not like a fitness Andy, you're not like a yoga pant wearing, you know, 38-year-old Stanley Tumbler using wine mom, and you don't like, or you haven't really ever cared about your fitness or anything like that, or you don't enjoy going on walks and shit like that, and you just don't give a shit, like I didn't give a shit. It's amazing what happens when you actually start looking for things to like places to go. There's all sorts of beautiful parks and paths and trails, usually even within cities that people have access to go on a cool walk, you know, and go see some things. And so the whole point is adventure. It's about, you know, pushing yourself a little bit and finding something new and going and seeing something cool. If you can, and if you can't, then
Exclamation mark, mic check. 1, 2, mic check. 1, 2, mic check. 1.
Apparently, 2, Brian's Hangul is not Daebak.
2.
No, it's not. Brian's Hangul is not very Daebak. I'm sorry, Azura. We tried. These are bits though. I appreciate it. Yeah, Brian doesn't speak any other languages besides fucking Welsh. And I'm convinced that Welsh speakers don't actually speak Welsh. It's a made-up language. They're just gaslighting everyone to thinking that they know how to speak it. And since no one can speak it, no one's like gonna... It's like if you go to a nerd convention and you're like, oh, I speak Klingon. And they're like, what? Prove it. And you start saying like gibberish. If it's a Trekkie con, then they'll know. But if it's just like a general nerd con, everyone will be like, wow, you speak Klingon, bro. That's so impressive. Holy shit. I think Welsh is the same, but yeah, I think Brian doesn't speak any other languages besides that. So, I don't know. I've already done this, but because I would have a couple of the medals already, but I'm going to sign up for those Conquer challenges. They gave me those sweet Lord of the Rings medals. Yeah, those are cool. I was thinking about doing one this summer and like seeing if people wanted to do a Conqueror challenge alongside the Eldara one. So actually, here's the thing, Elysium, you can actually make a custom Conqueror challenge. So they have like for companies and like organizations, you can make a customized one. What's up, Sanix? How's it going? Thanks for 100 bits, Sanix. What's up? Happy Friday to you. What's chillin'? But yeah, you can make your own custom Conqueror challenge. So like I could basically upload my own map and have like different like stopping points on the map when you get to it, and you can learn about lore for it. So I could do an entire thing, a whole like in-world massive cool thing for this if I wanted to. The problem is that it starts at about $250 to $400, I think, somewhere around there, for 20 participants, for you to do like for your company or whatever, your organization. So I thought about it, and when my stream is like doing really well at some point in time or whatever, I want to do that, and I want to do like a free Conqueror challenge. I don't want to like charge people for it. That's not the point, you know. I want people to be able to just enter it and just chill. But if I do ever get the funding to do it, I want to do it through the official Conqueror API. They have a whole separate section to their website of like the API tool basically, and not just the branded Conqueror challenges. The only thing is I don't think that we could get custom medals made. I think you need at least like 1,000 people in it for them to make you a custom medal. But I could print off a little badge and make it, you know, like kind of fun or whatever, like I do anyway. So yeah, it's definitely something I've been thinking about quite a bit. But Atari, thank you for the tier 2 for holy shit, 3 months in advance. What the fuck?
We are the Dream Girls. Dream Girls Kumul Hyangi Dalioga Dream Girls Siganun Chumbunhi Jogyu Fiajima Trust Yourself Neo Pogi Haj.
Alright, that's one way of doing it, Azura. Thank you for the 100 bits, I appreciate it. And thank you, Atari, for the tier 2 for 3 months, dude. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the support, bro.
What we doing today? My tablet died right before
What?
the notification came in, so I missed the start.
What?
So what are we doing today?
We're doing requests for locations, Senix. Thank you for 100 bits, but we're doing requests for locations. So rather than items or characters, I haven't done locations in a long time. It has been an age and a half since the dawn of locations and requests in my stream, and I feel as if it is time to bring them back. And today we are doing just as such. So we're doing locations for all the world builders and game masters and people with backstory locations and stuff for your various D&D games. So Nick requested a boat on a scenic river. So we're drawing a little boat on a little river, just cruising in the background, doing boat things, doing what you do, man, when you're a little boat. To be fair, I've never been a boat, so I have no idea. But I'm just. I've also never been a orcish barbarian, but I do a pretty good job at faking that.
And last but not least,
so.
What's your favorite K-pop girl group, or what girl groups do you know?
My favorite K-pop girl group? Oh, okay, listen, Azura. I became a K-pop fan before K-pop was popular. All right, I am an OG. I told all my friends at the game store about Psy before anyone heard about Psy. So, yeah, SNSD, Sonia Stay is good, but I preferred SNSD before Jessica left. SNSD pre Jessica's departure from SM, top notch. After, post, not that big on it. Obviously, I think that the undisputed monarch of K-pop girl groups is still 21. Like, I know that lots of groups do amazing things, right? You can go back in history, like Miss A, whatever, you know, all those groups. There's tons of them, but I think that 21 is the undisputed champions of that. With maybe you could make an argument for like Blackpink being the closest thing we have to New 21. Ella's a big fan of New G Idol, so that's pretty good. I know a little bit of New G Idol. I think they're doing a really good job too. But there's a lot of uniformity in K-pop that happened in the last like 5 or 6 years that really made K-pop really kind of unappealing for me for a lot of those groups. But recently, with like some of the more like New Jeans, I think is a good example of New Jeans is like a brand new K-pop group that isn't going based on the mold. They're just kind of being like weird, and they have a very different cadence to their dancing and to their music. It's like very interesting. You know, not the biggest fan, but I think they're cool at the very least. I can respect it. But I think that 21 is the undisputed champion. And then individuals, like I think that individuals in the industry, like it's very hard to say that there's a undisputed queen besides Lee Hyori, and you know, obviously Hyuna. But I don't know. I got a very different taste for K-pop. I got like I can show you my playlist or whatever. Right, you can just kind of like just briefly scroll past all the 21 and see like when my taste started and ended in K-pop. A lot of Red Velvet I really like. Obviously 4 Minute and Miss A. FX was good too. Obviously Lee Hyori, like I said, Hyuna, Brown Eyed Girl. I think Brown Eyed Girl and Song Gayan is legit good shit. What else? Twice is okay. Not the biggest fan of their group stuff. They don't have like a lot of cool shit, but Act On Musician, obviously. Old like YG stuff, right? Old YG, back when they did like the YG family concerts. That was my era. So yeah. Everyone else who has no idea what I'm talking about, don't fucking worry about it. Just chill. Just have a good time, man. Just relax, bro. Y'all don't need to worry about any of this shit. So I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff from back in the day, but I don't know too much about modern K-pop, I'll be very honest. I can't say I have too many strong opinions one way or the other about a lot of modern K-pop, so. Or that's a good or bad thing. I don't know, but there it is. Baby metal from Japan or South Korea. Baby metal is, in fact, Japan. And J-pop, very different from K-pop. You might not be able to detect the difference in the language or some of the aesthetics, but yeah, J-pop, very different from K-pop. J-pop, I'm less of a fan of. There's a lot less individuality in J-pop, and of course, J-pop fans will have an aneurysm when I say that and freak out and send me death threats or whatever fucking J-pop fans do. But all I need to do is point out just how big and influential the AKB generation is, and they will sit there for the next 3 years writing a hate thread about exactly why I'm wrong, and I don't have to worry about them anymore. So, yep. Get the high note for Mr. Mister and the boys. There you go. There you go. My favorite, my longtime always favorite member of SNSD Azura is always Hyoyeon. I always thought Hyoyeon was the coolest, and she never got the appreciation she deserved. So that's my, if I could meet one like K-pop star, it would either be Top or Hyoyeon. Be one of the two. Or maybe JYP. Maybe JYP, I don't know. Being like baby metal, you think they'd be J metal, not J pop. I mean, it's hard because they are kind of they're considered more J pop than they are metal or whatever within Japan. They're more appreciated as a metal band outside of Japan than they are in Japan. In Japan, there's still a lot of novelty around baby metal. When you ask your average like young like person that is musically inclined in Japan what they think of baby metal, it's pretty like non-interesting for them. It's just kind of like a little niche they have, which is cool, you know? It's cool to be appreciated by a crowd, at the very least. Whether you think you deserve more or less attention for it than other groups, whatever, but I don't know, man. Their J-Rock, I guess, is a thing, but they do metal, not pop. Well, they're I'm just saying how they're considered like classified within kind of like the Japanese circle. Because I asked a friend what she like what she thought of like the sort of metal and rock movement in things like the alternative metal and rock movement, like baby metal and Wagaki Band and stuff, and she referred to them as J-pop, and I was like, oh really? And she intentionally referred them to as unique metal or rock influenced J-pop, but she still very much was like, oh yeah, they're pop, they're considered pop. I was like, huh, okay. So I don't know, just like independent shit. How much do you prep for your sessions slash campaigns? Shut up, Ella. You build the whole calendar with lunar phases, because that's what I'm doing right now, and it's awful. It's pretty great too. I don't do a lot of prep, to be honest. So like, I don't know, Ed, did you watch my game on Tuesday? Not like, oh, did you watch my stream? But did you manage to catch it? Because I can explain to you how much that game I actually planned out in advance, as like an example of what I plan out in advance. You could have caught a good bit. Okay, so what I planned out is that there was going to be the town and then runes, and something cool was going to happen at the runes. That's it. That's all I planned. So yep, that's it. That's all I did. I think it might be Exclamation Store, Ella. I don't know. I think the print store is still down right now. It should be anyway. I hope it's still down. As a metal fan, love baby metal. They have a lot of pop influence, so I'd say they're more metal. They play with Iron Maiden. So I'm not arguing with you, Elysium. I'm saying what they're classified as. I'm not debating whether or not they should be or shouldn't be. You don't have to convince me. But yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. I think they're cool, but I'm not like I was surprised as maybe you are to find out that they weren't considered to be more in the metal side of things. They weren't recognized, I guess, for it amongst the Japanese fan base. They definitely reek more of metal to me than pop, but I definitely see how metalheads in Japan, because they get pretty intense, would not appreciate them being part of their classification. So I don't know, you know. What's up, Tally? Good to see you, bro. All right. We sign it. What number are we on actually right now? Wait, shit. We're on number. You're number 390. Oh shit. 390. All right, Boat on River. Boom, there it is, man. 390 for Nick H. That's a fun little sketch. That's cool. No one really asks ever for like a river. That's pretty cool. I gotta try and get better at doing these faster. We're gonna be practicing. We'll see what the first couple weeks of these ones look like. 390 for Nick. Boom. There it is, Nick. Thank you for the idea and the request, man. All right. Complete. Wait, why isn't it complete? There we go. Wait. I lost it. There we go. Okay, we're good. You mean you haven't planned out the lunar calendar? Damn, I was worried my players would ask me about my planned out 3 moon systems. It comes in very handy. Yeah, I build the world and I don't plan the campaign, if that makes sense. I will figure out what an area or a region is supposed to look and feel like, but what the players are doing and how they're interacting with it, I have nothing planned out to begin with. I have general plots that I want to drag them towards. So basically, it's like my campaign notes are right now not session notes, but generally in my game, I have this idea where it's like I want my party to get to this point and have this revelation at this location. So I'm just kind of like slowly like reeling them into that area, and like however they're getting here is like going to be whatever cool way they want to get there, and I want to make it seem intentional along the way. But realistically, I don't think too hard about it, because the problem is when I plan too deeply into a campaign, it really stresses me out, to be honest. It makes me feel like I am putting way too much. Like I'll admit, so when I plan out a campaign in detail, my game is better. I run my best D&D like that. So I am willingly running a lesser form of D&D and a lesser game for my players. The difference is, though, let's just say that it's 6 hours of planning a week versus 0 hours of planning per week. And the difference in quality is only like an extra 10 or 20%. So my players are getting 80% of the game for 0% of the like extra time outside of the game that I would have to put on just the game, because I'm already spending all this time world building and doing all this other stuff and building stuff for this and that and whatnot. That if I can't afford another 6 hours a week, like they'd have to start fucking paying me for that shit, and I don't want them to pay me for my D&D game. So, but I could run a better game if I planned out every little detail, every little thing, every little whatever, and beat and this and that and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, it just doesn't convert into a game that, and like it's not always a lesser game. It's like I sometimes don't have these big cool cinematic moments, but like most of the game is like really good, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at about it. I don't know. Why isn't there a VC in your server? There is. There is in the Guild Tavern right there, the Great Worm Table. That's the general VC. There's like a couple of VCs they're private, like game VCs. Like there's a mod VC and a D&D game VC for my home game, and then there's like a playtest group DC or VC. But the general one that everyone can use is the Great Worm Table. So, yeah. There absolutely is, and it's not even under the sub only section or whatever. It's for everybody. Well, the freeform style, not practiced enough at it. Good on you for not killing yourself over the game. Yeah, I think it's fine to just like not stress out over D&D. Like I did for a long time. I used to stress over our Star Wars game quite a bit for a long time, and I enjoyed it. But it really, I couldn't have done my Star Wars. I couldn't have run my Star Wars game for my players without, if I had like anything going on for myself at the time, like a real job or whatever, which I didn't. I was just doing like some loose freelancing stuff, and I was really not in a good place. So I wasn't working all that many hours a week. I was working like 30 hours a week instead of like, you know, what I'm doing now. So yeah, I wasn't even working a full-time shift or whatever every week. And so I had a lot of time to put into a Star Wars game. My players loved it, but I just can't do that again unless something changes. And I couldn't imagine that change being for the better, you know? So it'd have to be something like I give up a commission a month to do my players stuff or whatever. So maybe if I like become fabulously successful and I can work less or whatever, I don't know, who knows. But anyway, all right, next sketch giveaway, remember, it is locations. We are focusing more on singular places, not giant swooping cities. If I don't think that the scope fits within a small 1 hour sketch, I'm going to ask you to condense it down into whatever. But there is exclamation sketch as soon as it loads. All right, PogChamp. We're posting our setups. So I'm gonna make a channel for that. Actually, we'll make it in the Guild Tavern for now. We'll call it Birthday Stream Setup Reviews. Okay, right here. The channel. I haven't formally announced this to the Discord yet. That we're going to be doing this as well as what else is going to happen with the Thursday birthday stream. But there's a channel here, so anyone who has a setup that they want to get reviewed and either show off how impressive it is or be fucking roasted by me, feel free to post in the birthday stream reviews, and I will roast the shit out of your setup. Or be very impressed, I don't know. So, yeah, you're only able to submit once, Nick. Once per day. All right, cool. Exclamation sketch. If you have an idea, I will be right back. I'm gonna go get some more water. When I return, we're gonna see who wins, and it'll be PogChamp. Maybe. Oh wait, I hit my mute button, but I forgot my mute button doesn't actually work. I don't know what. I'm just gonna waddle away while like talking to myself about how fucking drawing cat girls as a career doesn't actually get you anywhere. People just think that all you do is draw cat girls doesn't help. And they have to provide help. the fuck? When did she... When did this happen? I come back to this shit. No, you don't just get... No bellies? Really? Rerun the VOD? When the fuck did this happen? Like... Bro, I've been skamazed. You know. Can't just keep my tribute. I have things to do today. I have exclamation sketches to write. Don't close your eyes. Okay. Okay. Alright, hold on. Okay. Okay. Alright. You stay there.
Hello Yuna, enjoy the bellies, also enjoy this definitely tree for meta today Philistakis edulis.
Is this normal dog stuff going on right now? Alright, hold on. What's the tree meta for today? Really? Hey, Duria, do you have any idea how offensive this is to me? Do you have any idea how just unfathomably pleased with herself Ella will be to see that you've submitted the fucking bamboo for your tree meta today? Look, listen. I have a little fucking silver gem encrusted panda, a very expensive little supposed to be a like a bracelet, charm or whatever, from Thomas Sabo that Ella bought for me years ago. That's a tiny little panda, because she says that pandas remind her of me. Sorry, there we go. Because she says that I'm like a panda. Because she says that I'm like, you know. She says it's because for a long time and even still, I'm always tired and I always have dark circles. Like my dad, every time I see him, he's like, "Did you get hit in the eye, son?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Why do your eyes look bruised?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just don't sleep that often." Right? So she says that the dark circles under my eyes make me look like a fucking panda. But I think it's just because I'm like fat and kind of dumb. So I'm always offended by her referring to me as a panda. And every time we see bamboo, like when we're driving down like the fucking highway in Maui past a bamboo forest, she'll like poke me and be like, "Look, it's your home. Look, Evan, it's your home. You can go back to your people." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." Like she bought me for my birthday a couple years ago bamboo fiber sheets, and she thinks it's hilarious. She bought me a fucking lucky bamboo plant, which is right the fuck there. All right, she bought me a bamboo palm. Like this is, I don't appreciate this. But also, I'll rate it a 9.7. Great plant. Great tree. All right, the winner of sketch number 2 is the unique, the definitely not rigged roll. And that is, of course, Azura's Fire. Congratulations, Azura.
I did mention today that today would be controversial tree,
Mm-hmm.
considering bamboo is a grass.
No,
even if it's a grass, it's still a better tree than most trees. That's how the controversial opinion is that your fucking trees pale in comparison to a piece of grass. That's the way it is, bro. I can't fix it, but 3 weeks in a row? Well, you're here every week, so it's about right. I don't know. Azura, tell me of a place in your world that you'd like me to draw. A location, an interesting place, a font, a moonwell, a relict clad obelisk. I don't know, bro. What you got? What you got? What are we doing? I'll give you a minute to type that out. Dude, bamboo's great, man. I don't have anything bad to say about bamboo. Bamboo forests are super nice too. I always love how they're just like in the Japanese countryside, there'll just be these entire like really densely packed clumps of bamboo. You're driving down the freeway or whatever, or getting on the train and watching, and like it always feels like there's some mystical shit inside there. You see like all these trees and rice fields and whatever, and this giant sort of mound of bamboo, and you're like, something is in there. I don't know what it is, but it might be Totoro. Like it might be Totoro. And when I live somewhere that I can actually grow bamboo, when I live like on Hawaii or I don't know, in California or wherever you're allowed to grow bamboo or can grow bamboo, I am going to have bamboo in my backyard. I will. It's gonna be great. It's definitely Totoro. It's always Totoro, isn't it? You have options? All right, what do we got? We got locations. We got things. We got places to be. Things to do. Locations to sketch. Where are we going? What do we got? Let me close all this shit. I have a lot of garbage open right now. I have dumb things that I need to close. Kill that. I open up so many windows when I'm like on my computer. I really need it to chill. Okay. Close that nonsense. One second. All right, cool. We're good. All right, where are we going? Doing Azura. What are we doing? Isn't bamboo super invasive and hard to get rid of? Want some too, but sounds like it spreads like wildfire. Maybe not invasive, but spreads like crazy. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's why I said I want to grow bamboo at some point in time where you can grow bamboo and where you're allowed to grow bamboo. Because like I couldn't grow bamboo here, not at all. No chance. Not where as far north as I live, and also I wouldn't be allowed to grow. Like California, you could grow bamboo, but I don't think you're allowed to. But a place like Maui, I know you're allowed to and can grow and whatever. And so there's lots of like really cool backyards with cool little pond setups and bamboo and gardens and whatnot. It's just nice, man. You know. Option 1, the Well of the Worlds, a portal to the elemental plane of water located in the heart of a Mesopotamian city inside a temple. Produces infinite water that feeds the rivers on either side of it. Was founded by the hermit deity, a deity whose wish was for his people to never have to suffer. That's cool as shit. I haven't drawn a portal in a while. All right, what's option 2? Because option 1 is leading out strong. That is a strong start here for drawing a cool ass portal. I'm already excited about that one. But I'll happily entertain whatever option 2 is, and we'll see what we like, see what we want to do. Both are good. Both I'm sure will be good. I found my bracelet. Fuck. I forgore. I'm a river to my people. Ooh. That's a cool little I don't know, thing you'd see on the monument or whatever. Okay, bracelet get. Now I'm jingly. We're good. Would Imperial Center from Star Wars Legends be out of the question for a planet to draw?
Uh, a whole ass planet? Wait, did you just mean Coruscant? I'm trying to figure out what Imperial Center is. There's a battle of Imperial Center. Are we just talking about Coruscant? Or am I missing something here? I think I might be unfamiliar with whatever this Imperial Center is. But, I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. At the space view. Oh, like a planet? I don't know. It'd be kind of boring, probably. But I could draw a planet. Why not? Fuck it. Fuck, you want me to draw a planet? I'll draw a planet. We'll do it. Let's get it. I do it. Someone wants a whole ass planet? Why not, man? Who am I to say no to a whole ass planet? Right, Yuna? She was literally asleep. She was... What do you have to be so sleepy about? What have you done in life to deserve being this sleepy? You have done nothing, Yuna. You deserve no amount of the coziness that you seek in life. Also, I want my chair back. Alright. You like option 1 better? Alright, we'll go with it. Okay. Option 1 it is then. A portal to the plane of water. Portal to the plane of water. A legendary location of magic, of adventure, an elemental plane all in itself. All right. Portal it is. Where do we want to start with this? Let's see. Let's do... Oh, I know what we're going to do. Okay. I know what we're going to do. This is going to be sick. This is going to be cool. Okay, we're going to start by drawing the actual portal, and we'll draw the temple around it. And... we'll have the water spilling from it. I love this. This is my kind of location right here. An ancient portal, the center of a city, to a magical realm. Portals are just kind of special for me because every time someone brings up a portal, I think of the original World of Warcraft loading screen, which was the Dark Portal looking into Azeroth. And I don't know why, bro, that just makes me happy. Maybe because I'm a middle-aged man in his 30s who enjoyed a video game from 2004. And you know what? I still enjoy video game from 2004. There's a bunch of new, like, cool stuff being previewed for The War Within, the newest Warcraft expansion, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. I'm always excited for new expansions, even if I don't play the previous one all that much or whatever, and I kind of took off an entire season and a half of Dragonflight, and that's fine. I'll do that from time to time. I'm still excited for the new, like, the first couple of weeks, the first month of a new World of Warcraft expansion is always just some of my favorite months of my life. I'm happiest when I am desperately hoping to finish whatever work I need to in a day to get to a game. Because, like, you'd think that if I had a great game that I would just, like, want to get distracted by it, and I used to. But now at a certain point in time, great games change from a distraction to a motivation for me. Or, like, not a motivation, but, like, I don't know, something I can look forward to at the end of a day. And I really love when I have an MMO that I want to just grind the shit out of. There's some cool-ass, like, rewards and whatever that I want to grind out. And I am very excited about the new World of Warcraft changes. With the Warband stuff coming up, I am very stoked to... I'm very stoked to get a Warband set up for my account and start farming some transmog and stuff. Because, like, I was a big collector in World of Warcraft, which is my biggest gripe with Final Fantasy, is that they don't have a good collection meta. Like, Final Fantasy has a lot of terrible stuff about it that I, like, complain the shit out of. Even though I love the absolute living hell out of the game, I wish there was a real collection meta. like reasons to go farm old raids and whatnot. But like the glam system, in my opinion, is inexcusably terrible compared to the transmog system. But there's like almost no excuse you could offer me as to why Square hasn't just implemented the World of Warcraft transmog system instead of the fucking glam system. Putting a limitation on what I can own, and I have to go and like put it in my glam dresser and whatnot. Like, what the fuck is this? Just let me loot a thing from a raid or whatever, and then never have to like go get that appearance again. And I think a lot of Final Fantasy players that play both games are also complaining about the same thing, but I don't know. It's one of those things that you're frustrated because one of your MMOs does something so well, and it's like, why the hell can't World of Warcraft have like an in-depth housing system like 14? Like, what is the excuse for not doing that? Because their old excuses were really bad ones. Like, we're worried that players aren't going to spend time in capital cities anymore. It's like, shut up. Shut up. 14 doesn't have any of those problems. Just give us our player housing, you idiots. You know? You just want both MMOs to, like, you want one MMO company to buy out the other one and then to just implement all the good things from one MMO into the other. You know? What's up, Steel? What's good? Other options, a tower at the center of a Great Plains Native American city. That's pretty cool. Coruscant is Imperial Center before it was named Coruscant. Oh, okay. Well, if I were to draw the entirety of Coruscant, yeah, for sure, I can do that. Why not? Screw it. Steel, how's your new job been? You've been busy. We've missed you. Well, you're busy and off crushing it, so that's cool. That's cool. Of water spilling out of it. A little reflecting pool type thing. Oh yeah, it's gonna be sick. The waterfall coming down there. Maybe some cool stonework around it. Your jobs are work Monday, Friday now. Like a normie? Ooh, God. A normie? Did you stop playing D&D and start wearing suits as well? Did you cancel your MMO subscriptions and start watching The View? Did you stop watching Star Wars shows and start watching The Bachelorette? Like, I don't know, what else do normies do? Do you start going for frozen yogurt on the weekends? With your, like, pickleball club? That maybe is the most normie thing I could probably have said. Frozen yogurt and pickleball, so I think we've safely accomplished the level of normality in this reference. Excellent work, everyone. Firm handshakes all around. Good job. The Norma-shoot has been sufficiently referenced. Frozen yogurt equals sad ice cream, is it? I like some frozen yogurt, but I agree. I think ice cream's better. I gotta be honest. It's different. Sometimes I do crave frozen yogurt. Very rarely. I think I can probably eat a lot more frozen yogurt. I think it's probably less calorie dense, but I don't know. Not actually sure. Sneaking in during a lunch break? It's Friday. What are you doing work for? What do you mean? You just take the Friday off, Steel. Well, Steel, if it helps at all, I am actually, I've talked to Ella. I'm not going to say when it is, but I have a start date for starting evening streams up. And it's not going to affect my Monday to Friday regular streams at all, but it is going to be an addition of evening streams during the midweek. So, after work, if you want to come tell me all about your cool shit that you're doing at work sometime, I'll be around. You know, Froyo, we were trying to set up a day for the whole team to go to bumper cars. That's pretty good. That's like the most normie thing you could have suggested, like past a pizza party at work. Or like a birthday party for Janice in accounting. You know? It's not attack Froyo, that shit's delicious. It gets good. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Froyo. Sometimes I prefer it. Like I said. Ice cream varies so wildly. I had the higher fruit content than ice cream because it freezes like shit, and if it's too cold, it tastes terrible. Oh yeah? Is that what happens? That makes sense, actually. I think you're right about that. Eating streams, what about weekend streams? Weekend streams, I'm not sure about it, actually. Because weekends are kind of interesting for me. Weekends are our time when I can dedicate to just working and just grinding out stuff. And I've tried to recently to try and take Saturdays off as much as I can. To have a day with Ella where I just don't work for a day in the week. And I'm trying to take one evening off if I can as well, but it hasn't been working. Ella and I have been doing a very poor job at finding time for that recently, but we're trying to, and I don't want to commit to streaming on like the weekend as well if I'm gonna be trying evenings, because like I'm always working in the evenings anyway. I was like, I might as well just go live and just chill out anyway, you know. It's like, why not, man? And lots of weekends anyway this year, or this summer, I'm going to be away in like Edmonton or on trips with Ella in the mountains or hiking or whatever it is. So there's just going to be a lot of reasons why weekends are going to be fairly difficult for me coming up here. So I don't want to commit to too much. I wonder if we put like plants or something around here. Let's see. Sometimes at work you bring us TCBY. What is that? I don't know why, but it always tastes like how Play-Doh smells to me. I'm not a fan. The fuck? They try to poison you? Don't they have to pay for that shit? Health insurance or whatever? I don't know. We're drawing Cauldron. We're doing requests for people today for locations for their D&D games. So Azura requested a portal to the elemental plane of water at the center of a temple inside their city. What about normie stuff? You guys want to go for White Claws and mini golf? Could use some frisbee going too. Oh yeah, we could. That's right. I forgot that like normies like to also drink White Claws. Although that's a very, I think that's a very Pacific Northwest reference that you just made, Adaria. I'm not sure if normies from elsewhere drink White Claws like normies from the Northwest. I could be wrong though. So it all depends on where you're like normies where I live would drink wine, go for frozen yogurt, and talk about like The Bachelor or like whatever the new TV show that everybody's watching is. Like, you remember when everyone would collectively watch a TV show? I mean, like, all the kids at school and all the parents and all the teachers and everybody would like watch, like, those shows that would come out, like I don't know if there's really been one like that since I was young, but like, remember like Survivor, how everyone would like watch that shit and you'd talk about it? Or like Lost, you know? Like, everybody watched it, everybody knew what happened, everybody talked about it at school, the teachers knew what was going on, your parents, everybody watched that shit. Like, that was an interesting sort of societal thing that I thought was very kind of cool. This like collective societal experience. Where everybody just has the same sort of thing going on. And they all know what's up. I always thought that was cool. We don't really have that anymore. There are normie shows for sure, but not like there used to be, you know? After work, I went to a Ren Fair business meeting. That's pretty good. It's a very place here, and everyone loves it, so I don't know what my problem is. I mean, that's fair. Look, at least there's some awareness there, Elysium, but I don't know. You're probably fine. I would never think it. Seattle White Claws are huge. Yeah. I wonder where White Claws actually made her from or whatever. You need to stand it up on something. Kind of pedestal or whatever. Game of Thrones is a big one. Oh, Game of Thrones, that's true. Yeah, you're right about that. Game of Thrones is one of those. It wasn't everybody, it was more the nerdy crowd, but I think there was a lot of non-nerds that watched Game of Thrones too, and that's a good point. People did watch that shit. You know what? I'm gonna do something kind of interesting here. We're gonna cheaty pants a little bit. Cheaty pants just a smidge if we can. Change that happened is YouTube makes your watch videos personalized and streaming was happened, right? Yeah, it's a good point. Streaming shit really killed it, didn't it? Wait, hold up. What's that? Give me a sec. All right. We Gucci. We good. Apologies. All right, dramatic water pillars. Let's go. Cool water pillar designs on them. At least I think they're cool, all right? They're watching it for the drama, not the fantasy. True, yeah. I didn't watch Game of Thrones though. They're like in the nerd culturedom, there was like they're having shows more recently, I feel like, that everyone watches. Like everybody watched Breaking Bad, I never did. Everyone watched Battlestar Galactica, I never did. Everyone watched Game of Thrones, I never did. Oh god, what else? So I've been on the outside of the nerd side of things quite a bit. But when it comes to general audiences, yeah, the streaming wars probably killed it. Not many people still have cable. It's actually more rare to find someone under the age of like 50 that has cable than probably not. Ella and I still have cable just because we get a really great discount from our internet and shit, because telecom, whatever bullshit. But mostly because Ella wants to watch sports. She wants to watch hockey. And so we have a really great hockey package that is better than the sort of the online ones that you can get. Oh, this needs to be on a different layer, doesn't it? It does. Okay. We erase everything, basically. We sketch in all the cool details after this. But that far away from falling asleep at work? Oh, well, look, what has work really done for you recently that deserves not falling asleep for? So, you want to take a nap? A. I say do it. I mean, really. You worked hard. Like, what's the problem here? I don't see an issue. I'm not saying be a bad employee, but I am saying take a nap. Watching with my mom was infuriating, though. We had like a watch party of the first episode in the 8th season before everything went to shit. None of those boomers knew what was going on. Oh, really? Man. That sucks. I just kind of want to be on the inside of things one time. I just want to be watching the cool thing that everybody's watching and doing the cool thing that everybody's doing. Like just one time, you know? One time. I want to know what it's like to be part of the cool crowd and watch the cool TV show with everybody else and be like, yo, did you guys see the episode or whatever? Which you kind of get out of like Critical Role or whatever, but even then it's not the same really, I don't think. Because nobody's like all caught up, and Critical Role fans could use a little bit of chill. So it's a little intimidating if you're not like a critter to talk to people about Critical Role. That happened to me at the market, the convention I went to with Ella. You know, Ella was away from the desk, or away from the table, and this like, you know, very nice group of people came up and were asking about dice and talking about this and that and whatnot. And one of them said, "Oh, this set kind of looks like a Mollymock set." And I was like, "Oh yeah, cool." I don't really remember what he wore because he was kind of dead too soon for me to care about him. You know, everybody thought it was funny and whatever. But then one of the individuals got a little I want to put this nicely, enthusiastic that somebody recognized the reference that they made, and I proceeded to get time burgled. And like after like 10 or so minutes, their friends are like, "Okay, well let's go see some other stuff." And she was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I'm just gonna, you know, keep talking to this guy."
How exciting!
I appreciate the enthusiasm, you know, but it was just a little much, you know. And I find that it happens a lot with Critical Role fans that are very enthusiastic, and I love the passion. I absolutely love the passion. It's just, it's a bit much sometimes, you know. So, roll together. What's up, guys? Yo, good to see y'all. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. What's good? Hope stream was good. Hope it was fun. Everybody's chilling on the Friday. Honored to have y'all in here. We're doing requests for People's World. We're doing location sketches today. So places from people's games. Right now, Azura requested a portal to the water elemental plane. So I'm trying to make the best temple I can without making it too obvious that it's a temple. On the internet, wait. If on the internet I find out someone hasn't seen episode of Critical Role that Molly isn't their favorite character, I block them. You block them? Really? If Mollymock wasn't their favorite character and they haven't seen every single episode, you block them. Oh no. Oh no. Guys, Guapo's a critter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How do you cure someone of critterdom? That's right, Baldur's Gate 3. You take their obsession over D&D characters in a game they don't play, and you convert it to D&D characters in a game they sort of play, and it's just as bad. You know, I love critters. I love the whole community. I love the whole, you know, fan base, whatever. I really do. I admire the passion. It is just a bit much, you know. Sometimes these like Western otakus have a tendency to get very, very passionate about things and very enthusiastic about it. And I have that like even with like World of Warcraft people at like BlizzCon. Sometimes people are a bit much for me. But I guess when you go through your life loving something and you know and you have no one around you can talk to, as soon as you have somebody that wants to that like understands you a little bit, you're like, let me talk to him. I'm gonna get all my talkings out. I get it. It just is a bit much for me sometimes. Because I don't know, I feel like I've become less social in the last like 3 or 4 years. I hope that I didn't like come off wrong when like the mods came here and I was like pretty chill the whole time. You know? I'm not normally like super animated and loud and whatever. And I find it a little bit much sometimes when I'm around a lot of people like that. So like going to conventions and stuff is a bit much for me sometimes. I just try and avoid that. I like being around people. It's just sometimes like having to sit there and converse with somebody for an hour about some like specific game or topic or whatever. I'm like, whew, I'm not ready for this, man. Blocked? Ah, shit. It's good. Thank you. Some lovely blades in the dark crimes. Oh, shit. That sounds dramatic. I like that. That's good shit. Currently slow catching up on Critical Role 3. I'm on episode 77. Didn't they just hit 100 or whatever? Well, I'm all spoiled up because, you know, there's no such thing as a Critical Role, like, spoiler alert on Twitter. So everything that's happened in recent Critical Role episodes, I am fully spoiled on. Which changes my fan art plans, but also gives me an opportunity for whatever the next episode is. So I'll have to be ready. I'll have to be on point for that. And no qualms for I2. I'm not animated and loud. That's true. Like some days, it's one of those things that I don't really talk about as DM, but some days I'm feeling incredibly tired or not social whatsoever, even the slightest. But you still kind of have to be, right? As a DM. Like last night, I actually was so fucking tired and like just feeling like shit. I felt like shit. Yesterday was a terrible, terrible day. And I felt completely awful. And I was just sitting there at like 6:45, laying on the couch, half asleep, while Ella was unpacking some groceries, wishing for a swift death. And it's like, oh fuck, I have to DM in, you know, 15 minutes. And you gotta force yourself, right? You gotta sort of like reach deep, squeeze hard, and force yourself to be the social center of your group and to break the ice for your players and whatnot. Because some very like aware players will do that themselves, but most players I find look to the DM like it's the DM's responsibility, which it kind of is, to make everybody feel comfortable and break the ice. Now, even though it's a DM's responsibility, I think that a player has a massive like amount of possibility to like influence that and assist the DM. And but you know, it depends on the group, right? And so for my particular group, I have to like always kind of get them out of their work mind modes and into D&D mode, which is pretty quick for them. They don't take too long, like, you know, 15-20 minutes, and they're all sort of in it. But you know, it is still like I had to sort of really force it yesterday for a little while, and it gets easier once you're into it. It happens with streams too. Like some days I'm just feeling completely dead and tired and whatever, and I'm just like, okay, I am streaming, I gotta be alive now, and then I have to like sort of work myself into it, you know. But it happens to anyone, like when you go to your job or you do whatever you're doing, if you're doing it in a social environment. So I spend so much time, I feel like every week, sort of not really forcing, but kind of forcing or squeezing that out of me. But sometimes when I'm around people like off stream, I'm just like incredibly chill and just like super dead, you know. So I worry sometimes that my friends have this like expectation of me to like bring the D&D game together, do the whatever. And I'm just so tired. Or drained, I guess, is also a thing that can happen, you know. But for your D&D game, you know, you love your players and you want them to have a good time, so you want to help them break out of their little 9-to-5 shells and come be a cool sorcerer or whatever the fuck they are. So it's tough sometimes, but Certain critters attack others despite never actually playing a game at the table ever. That's very wounding, but yet true, Guapo. Love to watch Critical Role, but like, it's such a time commitment when I could be playing my own game. I do love lore, though. I've seen some gesture clips that are peak. Yeah, I mean, I think Critical Role is great. It's also great for me because I listen to stuff while I'm drawing. So I don't like to draw in silence sometimes. If I'm like deep flow state, I'll draw in silence and I won't really think about anything else. But often if I'm like not super deep flow state, just sort of like working and whatnot or trying to get down there, Critical Role is a great thing. Streams are great. Like I'll watch like Fishy or Ashy stream in the evenings or something like that, but not remember half of it because I'll like go flow state mode and just not even be registering what the fuck they're saying or doing for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So, yeah, I feel that. All right, 391. This is cool, man. 391. Portal to the elemental plane of water. Ooh, I forgot my clouds. I forgot my clouds. I forgore. I forgore clouds. The 92. The 92? Okay, all right. So almost 100 then. Use my gawking, but it's incredibly how I can always see the water moving and splashing. Really? Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. I'm humbled. You honor me, Cauldron. Thank you. I'm glad that the piece works out like that and is communicating. Sometimes I think to myself, if I can hear the piece, that it's doing well for a landscape. And so that like, it's a very pointed and useful and thoughtful compliment that I appreciate deeply. Looks really good. Thanks, Zero. I'm glad you like it. It's been so long since we did locations, man. But I just, you know, wanted to get back into it, and I'm really excited because I've enjoyed doing little speed sketches for locations recently. I feel like they've been turning out really well on like certain stream days. Like, you know what? I kind of want to do them on Friday again. I didn't do locations for a long time because I didn't know how to properly ask for them, and I get people who would ask for things that are like kind of unreasonable for a small sketch. I had to really think about it and figure out what I can do in what amount of time and how to ask for that for requests. Because people would say like, "Oh, I have an entire village on a treetop," and it's like, "Oh, shit. I guess I can try and draw that, you know, in 45 minutes to an hour." So I had to really figure out how to properly ask for good locations or whatnot. Oops. One more right there. Okay. That. That. And sure. Okay. What do we want to do here? I want to do like a try something cool here. Experiment. Cool. That turned out kind of neat. All right, cool, sick. Control S. Saved. Done. Finished. Finish. Portal to the elemental plane of water. All right. Where is our sketchbook? There it is. What are we on? 391. 391 for Azura. It's fire.
Okay, complete. Are gnomes in your setting? So there is a gnome-like race called the Awar. The Awar are not gnomes. They're not halflings. They're not. They're not designed yet properly visually. I don't have a great way to describe the Awar. Because I don't really like a lot of the gnomes in different settings. I don't really like halflings. I think that halflings in D&D lose a lot of their charm that hobbits have. I don't know why. It might just be culturally. They don't have the hobbit culture, and that's half of why hobbits are, you know, small little creatures that naturally pursue coziness. Small little creatures that naturally pursue coziness. Interesting. No, it hasn't finished. It's still trying its best right now, Jacob. Yeah, give it a sec. I don't like hobbits in D&D. I think gnomes are a little weird. I don't really like gnomes. I don't like Warcraft gnomes, because like I always think that gnomes look fucking weird in different games. You got like D&D gnome, and D&D gnomes look like, I don't know, they just feel very strange to me in ways that I don't like. I like some D&D gnome artwork, like this is pretty cool, but I find a lot of D&D gnome artwork just kind of like strange, and I don't really know what I don't like about them, but I don't like them. Then you have like WoW gnomes, you have Warcraft gnomes, and Warcraft gnomes are, I like them more because they're almost more absurd. Right? And it's like you almost get, it's almost like you're leaning into the absurdity of it. But even then they seem a little like a joke. Like most gnome players I know play them because they're stupid. Same thing with like Lalafell players, right? Lalafell are, I think, more interesting versions of gnomes. They feel more like, I don't know, sort of organic, like fae kind of creatures. Like they feel inherently like strange and magical, but they are ultimately supposed to be much like kind of the absurdity of just being fucking children or whatever. Like it's just not like what is a child doing in my D&D adventure? I don't like this. I don't want it. Get grow the fuck up. I don't like it. Then there are the Guild Wars. Are they called the Asura? The Asura are cool. They're like strange little like gremlin creatures, and I kind of like, I feel like if you have this like small folk race in your game, leaning into them being like absurd little gremlin folk is like one good way of doing it. They feel more alien, and I think that fits them. You know, I think that actually fits them a little bit better. I think the Kithkin from Magic the Gathering were actually pretty good. They sort of felt like kind of weird and misshapen, but they were like intentionally weird and misshapen, and not just like, you know, there's something about the Kithkin that feel like gnomes, like D&D gnomes done properly. In my opinion, I think that they're better because they're much more, again, they sort of lean into the Warcraft gnome side of absurdity and strange like proportions, and they're like very flattened and squished and whatever, and they're just god awful fucking hideous. And I think that works. You don't need your like, you can either, it's like you can lean into your little rate, your small folk being like just like either just small people, children, or gremlins. And I'm not really convinced that any of these are good ways of doing it. So I almost have this opinion that if you're going to do a small folk in your D&D game, which people seem to want for some reason, I haven't really cracked that code, but I'm kind of like willing to listen, is there's a certain level of like people, I think that I'd want to lean more into a sense of like fairy, fae, trickstery kind of creatures as opposed to just like small, portly looking humanoids, you know? I'm not sure yet. But the Awar, they are a thing, they exist, and I don't really know what to do about them just yet. So I'll figure it out. All right, sketch number 3. Exclamation sketch. Exclamation sketch if you have a location idea and it is a small condensed area. Remember, we're not doing giant cities or things that aren't within the confines of a, you know, hour-long sketch. So if it is a giant request that is in a giant
area or whatever, I will find an interesting part to focus on and draw that instead. So I will make it work if you can't quite narrow it down at all. Gnomes look like goblins, quite partial to the garden variety of gnomes. The garden gnomes, straight up. My 5 years of deity, I've never seen a halfling or gnome been played. I've seen them a couple times, you know. I think like the problem is though that okay, you know what the problem is? I'll show you. So here's the problem. The more stylized, in some ways, the better. So if you look like chibi anime garbage, right? It's all stylized and it kind of works because it's stylized anime garbage. I don't mean anime garbage like I don't like anime. Anime's fine. I love anime. But I mean that this is just like anime whatever. Like it's nothing nothing interesting. It's just fucking anime. So it's chibi stylized shit and it all works out. Sure, why not? So if you have an anime world and you have this like chibi gnome race that are all these like weird chibis, like if this was one of your like gnomes or some shit, it's why Lalafell kind of work. Because they're just like kind of little chibis. The problem is that you get Pike, and the vast majority of Pike artwork is chibi anime dog shit. It's the same stuff. It's whatever. I don't mean that the art's dog shit. I just mean that the style is like the same stuff. I'm just being hyperbolic. I'm not saying shit about any of the art, but it's all this like chibi stuff, right? And so very rarely it's just like big anime, whatever, small folk. It works out to have a small folk that has anime kind of proportions and whatever, or is very cartoony. You very rarely see art like this, which I'm kind of pretty sure this is an AI piece. There's just some things about it, but regardless, doesn't matter. That is more on the realistic side of things. And then the problem is you're just doing small folk. They're just really small people, but don't have any of the proportionality issues, right? This is slightly more realistic again. So it's like, if you're gonna do small folk, I think you do small folk. I don't think you change the proportions. I don't think you give them big anime heads. I think this is actually pretty good. You know, you just make them smaller. You don't make them look like they're suffering from dwarfism or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with having dwarfism or whatever, but just you don't make them look like smaller, like the way that humans shrink, basically, genetically. You make them look like they're designed from the ground up to be just very small, very short. And I think that's the best way of doing it, maybe. But you don't see a lot of like Pike artwork that isn't like very cartoony. You see a little bit of it, and then even then, in the less cartoony stuff, you do not see the rest of Pike. So if you told me this woman is like 6 foot tall, I mean, or I guess her head's too big to be 6 foot tall, but like you told me this woman was like, you know, 4'9" or 5'2" or whatever, you'd believe it. If you tell me this woman is like 3'3", you'd be like, okay, I don't know, man. So yeah, I don't really know the proper way to execute on gnomes. I think probably just making them smaller folk is like the best way of doing it, or leaning into the sort of the fairy trickster vibe, whatever. Give them wings and tails or some shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. You see the D&D movie? It had a halfling and its brother was weird. I saw half the D&D movie and it was so unremarkably uninteresting and so painfully terrible in my opinion that I couldn't bring myself to watching the rest of it. I wanted to like it so bad, and I tried watching it, even though it looked like a dog shit movie from the trailer, and I was sitting here being like, we were watching it on stream, and I was like, this is gonna be the worst movie ever. Oh my god, this is gonna damage D&D as a brand. And everyone in chat was like soy-facing, frothing about how hilarious it looked. I was like, okay, I'm the weird one here, you know? So I tried watching the movie, but I didn't get a chance to finish it, so I don't know if I saw the halfling. Halfling brother. Okay, hold on. D&D movie halflings. Let's see. D&D movie halflings. D&D movie halflings. I don't see any halflings. Oh, is this character? Yeah, it's just a short dude. It's just a smaller proportioned person. So I think that's like one of the ways you have to do it. So yeah, I don't know, man. That Dragon Must Peak, yeah. I'm glad people were amused by the D&D movie. It just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I thought that they were trying way too hard to be like. The D&D movie felt like, here, I'll show you what the D&D movie felt like. one image that I can bring up that showcases my opinions in the D&D movie. So, like, I'm glad that the D&D movie's just like, hey, people like absurd stuff, right? People play Cards Against Humanity and Exploding Kittens. What if we have a dragon? Oh, no, that's too cool. We have to have it be absurd and ridiculous and silly. Okay, what if the dragon's really fat? Okay, let's make a fat dragon. Oh, we're so clever. What if there's an owlbear? So people would be like, I know what an owlbear is. Like, it just felt like they were trying way too hard to make the movie for the person that brings their friend to the D&D movie to be like, oh, I know what an owlbear is. Oh, I know that. Oh, that spell? Oh, I know that spell. I used that spell. Like, I don't know. It wasn't for me. I'm super happy people loved it. And I think that if you love the D&D movie, I'm not mocking you. I'm jealous of you. Because I would love to have been able to be part of that and be into it the way that people are into the D&D movie. It just, I can't shake the feelings that I had from it. So, all right. It wasn't good for a movie. There was just a few scenes that were funny. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Have you seen Holga's Ex-Husband? No, I don't know. I don't know Holga's Ex-Husband. All right, the winner for sketch number 3 is, of course, I gotta rig the roll I forgot. Sorry. Rig roll. All right, the winner is just Garthen. Not Eldritch Garthen. Not Lord Garthen. Just Garthen. Congratulations, Garthen. Garthen, what are we drawing today? Where are we going? Tell me the location of ancient power and magic, of unique importance and religious importance in your world. Somewhere to inspire adventure, to show off heroism, and to take us to a new realm. What are we doing, buddy? We're on the D&D movie, and to some extent, Critical Role is that they lean towards having the memes and the humor, and that skews player perception. So new players sometimes come into every game expecting dick jokes when every game is leaning that way. Some people just think that, and it's great for them, but not for my jam. Yeah, so I don't need my D&D game to be like everyone LARPing as to being like a Dark Souls character either, Elysium. But my problem is that, like, okay, here this will, if you understand my reference here, you will understand precisely why I don't find the D&D movie, or even to extend, Critical Role and a lot of these things, entertaining. I think that, hold on, when did I need a release date here. When did this movie come out? 1975. What was the last movie? All right. I think, in my opinion, the last time that absurdity and silliness was done well in modern media was 1983, when Monty Python: The Meaning of Life came out. I think that absurdity, silliness, and ridiculousness was funny in 75 with The Holy Grail. I think Life of Brian was absurd and ridiculous and silly in 79. I think Meaning of Life was absurd and ridiculous and silly in 83. And every instance of absurdity and ridiculousness since there, every Cards Against Humanity, Exploding Kittens, sharks with lasers attached to their head reference, dragons eating cake, whatever reference is like silly and absurd and ridiculous and like hilarious because of its silliness, absurdity, and ridiculousness, I think that it's all been a failure in the shadow of the greatness that was Monty Python, the last time that anything absurd was actually funny, in my opinion. So that's why I don't find the dick jokes and the whatever all that compelling in Monty Python, or in the D&D movie. I don't need my dragon to be fat because it's funny. It's like, okay, sure, I don't know, whatever, man. But hey, like I said, that's me being a broody old like weirdo, and so I am unable to enjoy things that other people are able to, and I'm jealous of them. I don't judge them as being like low brow or low class for enjoying their silliness. I'm not disgusted by Cards Against Humanity players. I'm just like watching from the sidelines, being like, all right, man, I'm happy you're happy. That's about it. An observatory, unless it doesn't fit, then I can give you something else. No, observatory is cool. An observatory. An observatory. Ooh. An observatory, you say? So they're observing things. I like it. All right, Garthen. For you, I will draw an observatory. I'll try anyway. That's a cool request, dude. I like that. That's good shit. So, yeah. Maybe I'm just humorless and boring. Maybe I'm just frustrated and annoyed. Whatever it is. It's a me problem and not a world. I don't expect the world to change for me. I expect everyone to have fun with their Monty Python or their Monty Python referencing, fucking Critical Role referencing, D&D referencing, whatever games. And have a blast, man. You're enjoying it and you're happy. Don't let anyone tell you shouldn't be. Cool. Observatory. Actually, the Factory is actually from a D&D module. That's fine. Look, we're not pretending like anything that, like, just because Wizards of the Coast has written it doesn't automatically mean that it isn't also dog shit. Like, I love D&D, but like I love the game way more than the content. So I know there's a lot of absurd, dumb shit that's been released from WotC's end, but it doesn't really impact how I see it, I guess. I don't know. You are right about that. Don't expect anyone to be an edgelord either, but it's player learn and either full edgelord's point of absurdity or they're just walking joke factory balance. Bring some balance to the force. Yeah, true. I enjoy some levity. I don't mind, but like I enjoy, like, Lord of the Rings was a funny movie in certain places, but it was funny in a way that didn't take you out of it. Right? Like Aragorn tossing Gimli. And Gimli being like his pride being hurt that he's gonna have to have someone toss him into combat because he can't jump because he's too short. Like, that was funny, but it didn't take you out of the movie through absurdity. It was like, so there's things like that I guess that I think are the good balance. But who knows? I might just be being boring and dumb and lame, and I'm okay if that's the general consensus. That's just fine with me. I will do my best regardless. So. Okay, Fantasy Observatory. We're gonna draw our telescope first in symmetry, and then we're gonna sort of go in pieces here, Garthen. And we're gonna kind of assemble it as we go. You're saying we need Monty Python team to play D&D with us? Not opposed to the idea. Sure, that'd be fucking sick. And like, but the thing is, like, for the D&D movie, I don't even fault them for choosing that, because D&D for many people is absurd. It's ridiculous. It's silly fun. It's not like big dramatic, tearful stories and heroic tales. For a lot of people, D&D is this just kind of like relaxed, very silly little absurd adventure. Like, and that's fine. So like, I totally understand why they went with that. I think they are sort of leaning into the modern day, like, Hello Fellow Kids crowd of like companies trying to do a project. Because the thing is, if they do a silly, I think that it's actually like a corporate thing too. If they do something silly and it doesn't land, it'll land. Somebody will think it's funny. There's a joke for everyone out there, But if they tried to do something serious and it didn't land, then it would be a big failure. So it's more of a risk, but the thing is, that's not like that's just safe, and like it's just another safe project from another company. So I'm like just kind of bored, I guess. Like, it felt like I was watching a Marvel movie, and Marvel kind of works out because it's based in reality. So you have this very like millennial humor written by millennials about millennials. Everyone's in their 30s. Like, sure, I get it. But the problem is that when you're not in like a real world based sort of thing, then it feels a little strange to me when you're trying to hit a fantasy realm. Like, I think that like Final Fantasy does this really well. Final Fantasy 14, they use strange and alien language that doesn't quite fit right, but you know what they're talking about when they say things, that it kind of takes you into the immersive reality. Like, who was the guy that made that wrote Elden Ring or Dark Souls? Who was the guy that wrote Dark Souls? Not the Bible, Google. It wasn't Miyazaki, was it? I thought it was someone else. I thought Miyazaki was just the director or whatever. I thought that he was just like the game director or the producer or whatever, not the writer. Okay, well, I might be getting parts of this wrong, but basically, I was watching an interview on somebody's stream. I was watching them watch the interview, as you do on fucking Twitch. You don't watch anything yourself. But basically, they're watching someone talk about writing Elden Ring or Dark Souls or whatever, and the guy was saying that when he would read fantasy stories, they were translated into Japanese from English, and they were always like kind of strange, and they didn't really have like, they felt like otherworldly and kind of bizarre or whatever. And he said that kind of like, that sort of helped sell the fantasy for him of it being like another world, and it kind of sold the immersion of this being like not a historical game, but like a game set in a medieval fantasy whatever universe. And he wanted the game to sort of feel like that, to feel sort of otherworldly and strange to people, even when they were like English people reading, like playing the game in English, Japanese people playing the game in Japanese or whatever. He wanted to feel kind of otherworldly. The language they use, the dialogue, the quotes that the bosses have, the type of language they use, it just felt very strange and otherworldly, and that was intentional. And I think that Final Fantasy XIV does this really well. I think that a lot of science fiction does this really well, where you have a type of language and a type of humor and a type of like terminologies and whatever that make it feel very not, like very immersively not real. And I think that's really strong, that when games and movies and books and stuff can do that. Like Dune is written really well like that. Dune does not feel like Earth in the future. Dune feels like some medieval shit or whatever. And yeah, 14 does that really well in their dialogue. The localization for 14 is really, really, really good. And I think that's a really good way of doing it in your fantasy, where you're not using terms and humor and whatnot that sort of fits into it. So like I have a big problem with the new Star Wars. A couple of lines in it that like Finn says is my example for it that I always go back to. When he asks Rey if she has a boyfriend, that took me out of it, and I was aware I was watching a movie written by a millennial. It's like, why does the term boyfriend not feel like it fits into this like Star Wars fantasy thingy? I think that it's because it's a modern term. It's a modern, and not just modern, but also a modern and like, I don't know what the word is, but like time relevant term, right? Like no one was saying like boyfriend or girlfriend at, 200 years ago. And 200 years ago, no one's calling their significant other in the dating phase, pre-marriage, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They're going to call them something else, right? Even now, people have started to move away from the term boyfriend, girlfriend. You don't hear it all that often. People say like, oh, my partner. They don't say like my boyfriend or my girlfriend. They say whatever. Even then people don't say like often my husband or wife. They'll say my spouse or something. And if they're like above 50, they'll say my husband or wife. If they're like kind of below that, they'll sometimes say my spouse. If they're below that, they'll say my partner or whatever. They'll just call them by the name. It's like sure. So a lot of these terms are like, they don't fit. And so like boyfriend didn't fit into Star Wars, and that kind of took me out of it. And I was like, oh, weird. I don't know why that bothered me. That's very strange. And it was interesting, I guess, because it made me think about this for like fantasy. Like, why does Lord of the Rings feel so right? Why does Game of Thrones feel a little bit less immersive? And why does the D&D movie feel absolutely non-immersive even a little bit? So I think about that kind of shit every once in a while, and it makes me really wonder how to like word things and to write dialogue, or even how to DM. Because like I don't try and DM in like some crazy dialogue or whatever for every character. Occasionally I'll do that, but for most characters, they're pretty much just speaking in kind of more modern, like any player would. And I don't think it's bad. It's just the way it is in a way. not a problem really, as much as it is just an interesting thing to observe for your D&D adventures. We're making this a floating observatory, Garthen. Doing something in the Shattered Sea. Oh, whoops. F4 Gore. And again, it's also not about the actual words and when they're used. You'd be like, actually, the term boyfriend was used in the 16th century briefly to describe the, it's like, okay, like, whatever, glasses adjuster. Whatever fat comic book guy, I get it. It's more about the feeling. A term could be historically correct, or a name could be historically correct, but if it doesn't feel like it, it'll take you out of it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Not how historically accurate it is, but how much it makes you feel like something should be historically accurate. Very interesting balance, isn't it? Suitor or courtship, yeah. Right, like my grandparents would refer to when they started dating as going around with each other. You know, oh, when I first started going around with your grandmother. And you're like, oh, that means like dating. Okay, cool. And then your parents would say going out. When I start with going out with your like your mom or your dad or whatever. And then when you ask like your older brother, they say like, oh, when I started dating your sister-in-law. And you're like, interesting. Interesting. The Tiffany problem. Oh yeah, isn't Tiffany like a historically accurate like fucking Victorian name or some shit? But it feels like a modern day white name. Isn't that like the crux of that? If I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong with that. I remember someone like actually me about that like one time and saying, well, actually, did you know the name Tiffany was? And I'm like, okay, but like it doesn't feel like it, right? So why do you care if it's true? If it's correct? Why don't you care how it feels? That's more important. Perception is reality when it comes to viewers experiencing your story. Unfortunately, Tiffany's medieval even, is it? Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. So, I don't know. I think about this kind of stuff. It's ultimately not really relevant. It doesn't really matter to overthink this kind of shit, but I do think of it. It occupies my mind at least some amount of time every week. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. And then it even changes in our perception. Like, our perception of what sounds like real fantasy, like medieval sounding terminology might even change in the next 100 years. And what sounds like it's like traditional fantasy in 100 years, it might be very different from what we think traditional fantasy sounds like today. Meaning that if you write traditional fantasy today and you're worried about it being outdated because you're using modern terms like boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, then the problem is that you have you have an issue when it doesn't even matter, because in the future people don't think that it sounds reasonable anyway. So where human overthinking comes in pre-installed, yeah, from the 1400s or something, but it feels like it's from the 1980s. True. True. Yeah, I had somebody unironically, one of my friends actually, another D&D world builder, bring up the Tiffany problem as a gotcha for me one time, which is why I was familiar with that when you brought it up. As if that somehow changes and like makes legitimate the fact that you're using Ashley and like, I don't know, what's another like really normal sounding, like Janet or something like that. Like, imagine an Evan in the fantasy whatever. Ah, yes. Welcome to the Dragon's Claim. My name is Evan. What? Wait. I thought this was a fantasy universe. What kind of a stupid-ass name is Evan? Evan is the name of, like, a disappointing dude from, like, Long Beach who's, like, had a trust fund but, like, blew it all on weed. And now has, like, white guy dreads and, like, lives out of his van. but goes home every, weekend to shower and do his laundry, but he tells all his friends at the hostel that he's like a road, renegade like they are. Like, no one takes the name Evan seriously as a fantasy name, so. Evan is a fantasy, but Evangeline is? Yeah, true. Joseph? I think Joseph is pretty old school. Joseph's like very biblical, right? I think all the biblical names sound pretty good, in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Why does generation need to redefine the terms used for dating? They don't even seem to be that big of a shift. I think it's because you don't want your dating experience to resemble your parents' dating experience. Right? It's like the waste of genes problem. Ella and I were talking about this when we were walking out of the gym the other day. We saw two girls and they were like 17, 18, 19, and they had their jeans on. And it's like, so jeans going up the hip, up the waist, on women specifically. This is a women issue, right? Jeans when I was a kid were lowriders. You wore lowrider jeans, right? All the girls in high school wore their lowrider jeans, and it was all cool and they were hot and whatever. And why did they wear lowrider jeans? Why didn't they wear them up around their waist, right? Like up here, because that was called mom jeans. If you had your like mom jeans on, that were like high-waisted jeans, that's what your mom wore. And so you weren't gonna wear that. That's what fucking old ladies wear, right? But here's the thing. Why then are girls who are now in that sort of like teen phase wearing high-rise pants again? Because all their moms are in their late 30s who were teenagers in the 90s and 2000s and all still wear lowrider jeans. So they're just doing exactly what their moms don't do. And you see that. And so you don't want to do what your parents do. So if your parents use the word going around, you say going out. If your parents say dating, you say seeing or some shit. Like you redefine these terms to make it unique for your generation. I think that's why they define it. It's going to continue to happen, whether we think it's silly or not. Our generation did not figure out how to properly name things. The people who like the slang and culture in general is decided by people in their early 20s. They define culture. And it's a very big, stark realization when a lot of people hit their 30s and realize that their generation no longer defines culture anymore. And that's when they start thinking that new music sucks and new entertainment sucks and new whatever sucks, is because it's not, their generation didn't define it anymore. I saw it happen with myself in music at a certain point in time, but you accept and love what you love, Where Ashley and Lauren and a few others were originally more masculine names, now they're most exclusively feminine names. Yeah, true, actually. That's a good point. Actually, we don't know 75% of the names used in everyday, like from history. We only know the versions that got written down. Those are really the important people. Even today, celebrities and nobles have different names than common people. And today, a lot of names are shortened and simplified in the US or in use with friends. I mean, Ella could have answered as well been short for Elizabeth, which is a name that is used in official documents. Yeah, true. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting as well to think about, like, well, what names fell through the cracks. Like, Ella's real name is a very white girl name. She has a very white girl name. But her D&D character, Ella Blackwood, and Amelia Hearthwood, and Scarlet, and Charlotte, and Lyria, and all of her D&D characters have, like, far more D&D names, than... And it fits. It fits. It works for her. Helps her with her dice brand more so as well. But she introduced herself whenever she's at a market or something as Ella, because it makes sense that she's like Ella Blackwood or whatever. So she makes friends at her dice market, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, is Ella here?" And I'm like, "Ella, what the fuck?" "Oh, yeah. She's just wherever." So I'm not used to anybody calling her Ella except for people from stream. So someone said like, "Oh, is Ella here?" Like at the market, and I was like, "Wait, is this a person from stream? Wait, what the fuck?" I had to like remember. I was like, "Oh, wait, that's right. I forgot. Okay, yeah, no, she's here. I'm good. Yeah. That person named Elizabeth could go by Lizzie in everyday life, but neither are written down, so only Elizabeth has known the person in the future researching our generation. Yeah, I don't know how widespread the naming of people would be. There were some records of like of like nicknames and pet names and stuff. So I'd like to think that we had a pretty good grasp on that, but obviously some figures did fade to non-knowledge or whatever. Like in this book that I'm reading right now called The Code Book, it's about like encryption across history and stuff. In the first chapter, it talks about the cipher that Mary Queen of Scots used for her trial in the whatever Who Asked century. And I was talking about some of the cipher secretaries across Europe, and it would say like this was the person's name. I think in one case it actually said this is this person's name, but was referred to as whatever by the important person that was being referenced or whatever. So I don't know, maybe there is a little bit of that still left around, and maybe it's all abandoned. Maybe no one knows what the fuck anyone called anybody back in the day. It's an interesting dilemma. I have an uncle named Lauren, actually, but no one ever gave him shit because he's also giant. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like I've known Janes, like dudes that are Janes. I've known 3 Blairs that are girls, and they spell it with an E, and I've known one Blair that was a dude. But also Blair used to be a first name that was more common, and it's not anymore. So people sometimes when they would like look at my name, they wouldn't know if my name was like Blair Evans or Evan Blair, because like Blair is not like a last name, right? So it happened all the time when I was younger, but people just kind of stopped at a certain point in time. I don't know. I guess. Wonder why. Maybe like with the British Prime Minister Tony Blair making it more widely known that there was a Blair with as a last name. Either way, that's like mostly a girl's name. Blair is a feminine name for a lot of people. Name their daughters some good old Scottish family names or whatever. Great grandparents were both named Francis. I was almost a Francis, hey? I'd totally go by Fran if I was a Francis. Francis was a family name, and my brother didn't get it because my brother got a cool name and then named after my grandfathers and my dad. And then one of my grandparents suggested something along those lines, like one of us, my brother or I, be named Francis. I would have rocked it. I would have referred to myself as Frano, like Steve-O. That's what you did in the early 2000s. I was Francis, I'd go by Ajax. Yeah, there you go. Why not? I had a pastor named Meredith. Prior to that, I thought it was just a girl's names. I would assume Meredith is a girl's name. I think your pastor had a girl's name. I think there are some names that we can say that no, that's not a boy's name just because a boy has it. That's still a girl's name. Your pastor's had a fucking girl's name. That's what I would do. That's a schoolyard level of logic that I would apply to it. So, not saying it's the right thing to do. Is your family name Art, middle name Blair, and first name Evan? Some people say that. Some say that's what it says in my passport. I'll never confirm it. I have 2 middle names though, so I got a lot of names, bro. Parents just went crazy. And you know what? Why not? Fuck it. If you got kids, give them like 5 middle names. Let's bring that shit back. And let's start referring to like young boys as son of something. So that cool names can be referenced through history. I am Jericho, son of Gilad. Breaker of Dawn or some shit. I don't know. Let's bring that back. I am Aragorn, son of Arathorn. What? Arathorn. No, you just said Aragorn. Son of Aragorn? No, Arathorn. It's the same thing. It's what you just said. Oh, just call me Strider. Alright, Strider. Got it. Could have just said that earlier, fucking weirdo. The problem is, what if your dad has a really dumb name? And then they can only change it slightly so that you have the next version. And you're like, ah, shit, I carry the burden of this shitty family name. Three given names, Dutch system doesn't do middle names, it's all just first names. Really? Y'all got like actual, like, your driver's license must be just a fucking line, right? I named my kid Uther, so there you go. Okay, that's pretty cool. I am Hank, son of Tom, son of Jim, son of Ed. Oh, man. Yeah. You have to fantasy those names up. I am Hankus, son of Tomatos, son of Jimothy, son of Edicus. Or whatever. Polish name translates to son of Adam. That's cute. That's a cute girl's name. Just put son of Adam in there. That's, yeah, sure, why not? Ed, son of Ed, son of Eddie. Oh, no. Not Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Got the back-to-back meetings. What did I miss? Shit-talking names, Cobalt. Shit-talking modern names. So, yeah. Maybe if it's in the form, if I have to report at the border of any country I visit, it's a real pain. Do other countries not just recognize your first name? Because there are some countries that only recognize one middle name, and so when I fill out at a visa or any sort of like thing, I've never really gone to a place you need to fill out a visa for, really. But like Japan, for instance, back when you had to fill out a visa when you got there, like you arrived to Japan, you need to fill out a visa right then there at the airport form. You I could only put in my my first middle name, so I did. Like I only want to deal with one of these fucking weird middle names. Like, get out of here, bro. Is Scottish for twin? That's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't like. It's also interesting because like Evan is like a Welsh version of John. But like I remember watching this YouTube video about how like most names are like just John in different translations. Like all of the names that are just John. All 128 variations of John. You got Bevan, Deshaun, Eon, Evan, Evans, Gahan, Gian, Gianna, Gianni, Giannis, Hans, Hanu, Hansel, Ivana, Ivanka, Ivan, Jack, Jackie, Jackson, Janica, Jeneth, Jackson, Jackson Wang, Jean, Johanna, Yvonne, Jacques. That's a lot, man. Sean is just John. Jonathan is just Jonathan, but with an S. How the fuck is Ohari? John. How is Zane John? How is Yannick John? How is Saint John John? Oh wait, that makes sense. Is John actually on this list? John. Okay, at least they put John on this list. But yeah. Wait, how is McLean John? The name McLean's a boy names of Scottish origin meaning servant of Saint John. Or you should pronounce it Maclean or Maclean is one of the crispiest and most appealing of the Mac names. The Scottish clan MacLean is the oldest of the Highland Scottish clans. Trivia tidbit: Sir Fritzoy MacLean. What? See, Fritzoy. What a fucking name right there. Is said to be of inspiration for the Ian Fleming James Bond character. Ooh, that's cool. So, yeah, like, oh my god, this isn't even. Wait, is this more pages? Oh no, it's just okay. I get it. I see it. Yeah, because like Evan is like, from what I understand, it tracks to is the Welsh version of the Greek name Evangelos, which somehow translates to just John again, you know? Johanan is one of the best John variations, or Jacquhanan. I don't know how to pronounce that, Byron. Yeah, I'm pretty dumb. John McClane of Die Hard is just John John? He is John John. He's just Long John John. Like the Long Lawn Man, but third of his name, least in the number of differentiates a bit. I mean, you got lots of different names there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how that tracks, but actually, hold on. How is the name Evan John? I wonder if there's a track for it. Okay, what do we got here? Pronounce Evan? Welsh or Hebrew? Oh, that's right. It's also a Hebrew thing, isn't it? The word Evan itself means rock. Oh, fuck. I'm dumb as a rock. I knew it. In Hebrew, Evan is also the shortest version of the Greek name Evangelos, meaning good messenger, and Evander, meaning good man. When you imagine Evan, he or she might be a sport, or she. I don't know a single Evan that's a she. Creative, clever, funny adventure. Shut up. I'm not looking for a fucking BuzzFeed test. I'm looking for how it changed from whatever. You know, it's been widely used in Wales since the 19th century as a boy's name. Consistent choice of growing. No, how did it go from the Hebrew to Evangelos? How is Evangelos? Okay, we're gonna look that up. How is Evangelos John? No, I don't want LinkedIn profiles for men named Evangelos John. No, Google, that's not what I'm looking for. God damn it. How is the name Evangelos John? Junior derived from the Evangelos is usually Evangelist. The female equivalent is Evangelia. It's probably some shit like how the name Jesus is the Greek translation of Yeshua or whatever. Like Aramaic or Hebrew, Yeshua turns into Greek Jesus or whatever. It's probably some shit like that or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how it is, but it is. People's like, oh, it's the Welsh from a John. It's probably something in that, like, in the changing of the writing when there was no like character for a certain syllable. Which is what happened in the name Yeshua to Jesus. So as far as I know, it's probably one of those type of things where it was just changed from like, and when it went into Greek, then when it was translated into. I don't know. Whatever. I watched a video about it once. It's very interesting. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't remember exactly how it ended, but it's a weird etymology thing, apparently. Is it? Okay, hold up. Stream, topics. What do we got here? What the fuck? All right. Biblical Hebrew. Yahohanan. Expression, God is gracious. Yohanan. In Arabic is Juhana. Yohanyan. Okay. Ioannis. Where's Evan? Is any of the variations on here something that looks like Eoin? From whatever that is, Johannes to Jon to Johann to Jan or Jean. Where the fuck does Evan get fucked up in there? Vulgar girl? Oh shit, we don't want to be calling our Johns vulgar girls. Oh, Ivan. Right, it goes through Ivan. Right, okay. So it goes through Slavic. So you go from Ioannis to Ioanno, Ivano, Ivan, Ivan, and then you get Evan. Right, I forgot about Ivan. I forgot the connection is the etymology thing between right here. Ioannis or so you got Yohanan to Ioannis because the non to nis or whatever is the translation. And then you've got in there Ioano, Ivano, Ivan in Slavic shit. And then, okay, I should have been an Ivan. Bro, my parents were throwing. I'm fucking half Ukrainian. Why didn't they just give me Ivan? Way better than Evan. Right, and then in Welsh, they can't pronounce the I or whatever, apparently. So then they just go instead. Every Evan is just a Ivan. That's the way it goes. Good find there, Azura. That's exactly what I was looking for. You found it. Congratulations. You are far better at your Google Foo than I am. So, good shit. I need to do a planet in the background here. I forgot. We're gonna do a planet, I think, or some shit. Like a big ominous curve, as if there's some sort of a world. In the night sky here. And that name would have then, so that's kind of like that's kind of, though that is like, okay, it's kind of misleading. People say, oh, it's the Greek name of Evangelos, but I see how Ioannis turns into like Evangelos, but really you shouldn't say that Evan is the Greek version of Evangelos, because they both sort of descended from ancient Greek version of whatever, and that's the better connection is where it. All right, whatever. Nobody cares about this except for me and Azura, so I'll fucking drop it. I apologize. I just went down a fucking rabbit hole. Oh God. We're good. We're Gucci. We're fine. We're chilling. Got my hatching. I forgot to hatch. Now it looks unhatched. Oh no. That's not what I expected. Saying Evangelos turned to Evan is like saying the gorillas evolved into humans. Yeah, true. Common ancestor, not a direct translation. Yeah, it's a good example, actually. That's a really good example.
Pee pee poop, good evening to you.
Hi, DC. What's up, bro? What's good, homie? Alright. I think 100 bits, though. I appreciate that, bro. A lot of bits, man. Bits add up, bro. All right. Okay, what are we on? 390 what? 392. 392. EVAN Blair. There we go. 24. Okay. I remember how to spell my name. So everybody, let me splurge a little. All right, fine. I'm sorry. Jeez, man. Where? I thought you got up. I thought I heard her collar jingle. I thought she got up. Turns out she's just straight asleep. Oh, she woke up. I awokened it. I fucked up. Sorry, Yuna. You can go back to sleep. Yeah, speaking of weird names, Yuna, man. What's wrong with people name their dogs after game characters? Okay. Snip. 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 I snipped. Guild Hall. No, sketchbook. 392 for Lord Garthone. Dude, we're getting close to 5 to wait, 492? Did I just miss go from 3 to 4? I think I accidentally did. I did. I absolutely have been going 390 whatever instead of 490. I just skipped. I just fucking messed up the first. How did that happen? How did... How did that even happen? I don't understand. I don't understand, dude. I bet it's Yuna's fault. Yuna, it's your fault. Here. 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 Come here. Yuna, come here. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, puppy. Good morning. Hi. Is it your fault? Oh, is it your fault, baby? Hi. Here, here. Is it your fault? Are you sorry? Are you gonna apologize? Apologize. I'm waiting. I'm listening. Why no apology? Okay, Belly, it's fine. Fine. Belly. Alright. I'll leave you alone, Dogmina. Okay. That's super annoying, dude. Oh, man. Okay. Not a problem. It's okay. 45 to 385. Shit, man. I can't believe I made that mistake. Because, like, I was thinking about how, like, I'm getting close to 500. And I was going to say out loud, oh, shit, we're only, like, 8 away from 500. But did I mean 8 away from 400? Am I dumb? Am I wrong? I am dumb, just for a different reason. So can you get over the fact that you can buy weed from a vending machine here and everyone is smoking here? 'Tis wild. Where? In where are you exactly, specifically? You're on the Mediterranean somewhere, right? Italy? Fair enough. Wait, weed's legal in Italy? Really? It's like, it's legal here, but people aren't just, like, not many people smoke here. It's kind of weird. I don't know, maybe the novelty wore off. God, do I change them? Do I go through and change all of it? I probably should and alter the things off stream. I could do it through Discord and just change, because like people want to be able to search for them. So I could change. Whoops. Oh. If it's only that many, that I could probably just do it real quick. 490. And then it says it, as long as it's correct somewhere. 487. 486. 485. And then we did our right, and then we did our okay. And then there's 485 again. So there's two 485s, right? Okay, so there's two 485s. Look, it's not gonna be perfect. It's just not gonna be perfect no matter what, and that's okay. I'm not gonna change the, like, I'm sure I've skipped or missed or whatever. It'll all It'll all work out one way or another, but that's just dumb. Oh man, what a piss off. Whatever, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I want to post these. I think I should probably post these on Twitter or some shit. I need to be more active about posting stuff on www.twitter.com/home. Yeah. Nah, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna do it today. Not gonna worry about it. It's a lot to do. Ugh. But yeah, not worrying about that. All right. Well, we didn't plan out anything to do with the event today. I said we would do a little bit of planning for that, and we definitely didn't. But I have to take Yuna out because Ella is gone for a while. And so I have a little puppy all on my own. She hasn't gone out this morning, so it kind of puts a bit of a hamper in stream length. So I was going to plan on doing 4 today, but I guess we'll only get 3 done.
Never forget shit happens.
So I gotta take Yuna out.
You fuck with the dick you got.
You do your best, man. That's right. That's what the model of the VB brand anyway. So Yuna, we're gonna go outside. You go outside, and then do we need to beg the mods for help after? Yeah, we do. All right, good girl. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. The channel for the next Thursday is going to be the 4th annual birthday dumb stuff stream. I wasn't gonna do a birthday stream actually until Nick's reminded me that I'm trying to be a better streamer this year. So I'm gonna be doing a birthday stream this year, which is gonna be fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the sketches today. I hope you got cards if you wanted them, and if you don't, I'll be doing these over the next couple weeks anyway. So no worries, no hassle on that front. What are we planning for next Thursday? Next Thursday on April 25th, we're gonna do Smash or Pass D&D rules, shit talk your D&D mains, official D&D emotional damage chart, sexy Shadowheart fan art for Tumblr likes, Blackwood Dice giveaway, print giveaway, D&D class tier list, Baldur's Gate 3 character tier list, chat D&D battle royale game. The chat D&D battle royale game is gonna be sick. Okay. Everyone in chat is going to tell me why their D&D character is powerful in like 1 or 2 sentences, no paragraphs, and I'm going to pick one person to kill off and eliminate every round. Every round I'm going to find someone to kill off and eliminate until it comes down to like the last 4 people or so, and then we're going to get chat to vote on it. So we're going to make you gotta tell me what your D&D. So you do that. Also, the setup reviews channel in Discord is up. Currently, there is. Did anybody post? I think Elysium has posted Elysium setup so far. Yes, so there's gonna be a setup review where I'm going to roast your fucking setups. So show me your gamer locations as to where you play games and how cool and gamer you are in the Discord under Guild Tavern. All the way at the bottom, there's the birthday stream setup reviews. So tell me about your setup and I will talk shit about your either financial situation, why can't you afford a real desk, or I will be blown away and in awe as to how godly gamer PC master race you are. Either way, I'm looking forward to it very much. That's going to be on the 25th. It's going to be cool. Might do a request or 2 that day. It'll be a longer stream, actually. It's going to be kind of fun. So I haven't done a birthday stream in a while. It's been like a year. So we're going to do that. Does that setup I'm getting later count? Nope. It's the setup you're working with right now. Yep. Thanks for that, Garth. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it, man. So anyway, I take the little one out. Even though she looks like she's asleep, she's been shaking and collar jingling more, which means she's restless and she's about to get up. So I don't want her getting up and fucking peeing on the stairs. So thank you guys for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out this week. I had a lot of fun streams this week, actually. I really enjoy the start and the cap of our like starting our streams off with the week with the game with Fishy and then ending off on Friday streams has been my favorite thing to do for the last like 2 or 3 years. So thanks for a really great week of streams. I've really had a lot of fun. So thanks for being a part of it for everyone who managed to stop in and hang out with me for a little bit. Evening streams are gonna be starting soon. It's gonna be kind of pog. The class is getting its first release draft this weekend. So the Astral Knight's getting its first release draft, and I might actually post the very first draft of the Astral Sage too. I think that will be kind of fun to do. So look forward to that because I'm gonna need a lot of help wording the Astral Sage cantrip. I don't know what I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna 99.71% there for what? What's almost there, Thorkin? I'm excited. I don't know what it is, but it was Sky Knight boss, bros. Well, the Sky Knights. There's a background for it. Yeah, the Sky Knights have a background for them. They don't have the Monka. Oh Jesus Christ, Thorkin! I should just stay live for the next 4 hours. I should just farm channel points or something. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, hope you guys have a good day. Hope you have a good night and a good evening. All your evenings. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Until next time, my friends. Farewell.